Dun 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 dan dun dun dan dun dun dan dun dun dan dun 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 dun. Do you guys hear that? Dun 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 dun. It's gotta be those drums. It has to be. It's gotta be. Dun 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 dun. The drums of liberation, yo. Dun 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't even begin to tell y'all, man, the craziness of this week, yo. Y'all know, man. Y'all have been here. But, yo, it's good to see y'all, man. Thank y'all for showing up. Truly appreciate y'all. The drums, baby. The drums. Let me make sure this is good. But, yeah, like, honestly, I was thinking the entire week, I was like, man, I can't wait for it to be Friday, bro. So we can come on here and talk about the chapter. It's probably not going to be a very long stream, but I wanted to talk about it, man. Like, the possibilities, the predictions. Because the thing is, right, I'm going to predict now, if next chapter is going to be like this chapter, all of us are going to have to get off of social media on, like, Monday or Tuesday, right? So, excuse me, this is going to be like our last time to truly be able to predict what's going to happen in the next chapter. So I was like, you know what? Let me go live on Friday. We're going to talk about this greatness, and then we'll be back. Because, if there's any chapter that all of us should try to stay as spoiler-free as possible, depending, because, we know our dog Oda, right? I don't even know if next chapter is going to be the Joy Boy stuff. But if it is, all of us need to be careful. You know what I mean? Like we all need to be careful. So let's see. But yo, how are y'all doing, man? Talk to me, baby. I'm hype. Man. Yo, earlier this week, I was re-experiencing some of my favorite moments in the series because I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a Twitch streamer who does One Piece reactions. Her name is Cammy. And she just recently got to Wano. But I was behind, so I was watching some of the whole cake reactions, yo. Dog, I forgot how amazing the anime did the Luffy breaking the mirror scene, man. When Luffy breaks the mirror in Whole Cake Island, I remember when that chapter dropped, and that was my chapter of the year that year. I don't remember what year that was. That was like 2016, I think. 2017, whatever it was. But Luffy breaking the mirror in the anime, man, I forgot how goated that junk was, dude. Peak fiction right there, yo. Peak fiction. Yo, Hazy knows. Cammy Goat. Pluto, Prime Alvy, the Vortex, AJ, what's good, yo? Xanarkin, DJ, The Z, Mo, Omar, Recon, Studio P, Coco 23, Haris. It's good to see y'all, man. Kosh Panda, yo, Recon, did you check out the Whole Cake Island and Wano OSTs? I did. I can't believe we actually have an official version of Soul Pocus. Now listen to that. Listen to the greatest soundtrack ever made. Listen to that. You already know. The Katakuri theme, one of the goats. I listened to a couple of them. The Luffy Luffy versus Sanji soundtrack that we've been waiting years for, most certainly. And then I basically listened to everything except for the ones that we haven't heard yet. So I was for sure not listening to any of the ones that like are gonna be in Roof Piece and when I refuse. I'm gonna refrain from listening to those until they actually show up in the anime, because from what I heard they were legendary. So I'm not trying to hear them before we get them in the anime. You know what I mean? Luffy wanted all the smoke that day. Facts, Studio P. He truly did. Yo, lazy mofos. I just rewatched the whole Katakuri fight the other day. I tend to rewatch every Luffy fight every time we get to points like this. Yo, I can't blame you for that. Like, yeah, Luffy be having some goated fights, man. But yeah, the Katakuri fight special. The Katakuri fight is really special. One Piece OST does not miss Trun Godward at all. Momo says, "You're my joy boy." No, y'all are my joy boy, man. That's why when I entered here, I heard the drums of liberation, bro, because that came from the chat. The drums of liberation. Yo, Heishin, everybody, hi everybody. Are there any is there any new news for the Toei situation? For the Toei situation right now, I don't think there's been any big developments. I know for a fact that they've been hinting at certain things that potentially we could not get an episode until like April or something. Just based on, I know that Dragon Quest is not going to get a new episode until April. So if Dragon Quest is not getting a new episode until April, I'm going to assume we're not getting a new episode until April. You know what I'm saying? So I know we're getting a recap episode this week, I think. And then next week, I don't know if there's going to be anything, but we still don't know. At least I don't know. If any of y'all know, then please let me know. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, my goat in the chat. Shout out to BDA Law, man. No, I hope you're enjoying your day, bro. Thank you so much for stopping by, brother. I truly appreciate you. That's the goat right there, man. Shout out to Brago. Shout out to my dog, Brago. You ever watch One Piece? It's a fan-made, edited-down version of One Piece. Whole Cake was 96, but I watched it in 36. I've never watched One Piece, but I've heard of it. Definitely heard of it. Yo, Will, the JJK movie was fire. I'm so happy to hear that, yo. I cannot wait to watch it because I really like the manga version of that content. So I already know the anime is gonna go in, man. I already know the anime is gonna go in. Just you watched the drum sounder and party in Sky Island. Yo, if those are the same drums that are gonna hit, that's gonna be goated. Because those drums were nice. Those drums were really nice. Sanji's True Feelings track needs to be used for that moment. Oh, facts, Horace. That's facts. I know exactly what you're talking about, too. Like, yo. And I think they are. Yo, 1031 animated is going to be so good. Like, just with, like, the soundtracks and whatnot they're going to use. I mean, maybe they'll have some new ones, but I think if we're just basing it off the ones that we already have, like, that's going to be really, really nice, yo. Like, really, really nice. Brago's back like he never left. You already know, bro. My boy's always back. Like he never left. That's Goat Man right there. Do you think Oda had this break so he can laugh at the theories? I mean, honestly, he took a break just to, give himself some time. And be like, hold up. I'm about to cook up something in the kitchen. It's about to be legendary. So let's relax a bit. I'm pretty sure I think they're like two weeks ahead, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how it is on break week, but I know normally they're like 2 weeks ahead when it comes to the chapter releases. So I'm sure this very week he's working on the chapter after whatever legendary stuff is incoming. So in the middle of writing that, he's probably like, man, they ain't ready for this. Just like for the last couple chapters, so that last stretch was amazing. Like from the last 10 chapters, you know what I mean? Actually, no, even further beyond that, it's like from 1031 until now, it's been like nonstop heat, right? So I'm getting banger, but specifically in the last couple of chapters where it's been Luffy versus Kaido and then like Law and Kid and Big Mom stuff, it's like banger. And then with like the last couple chapters, this is legit just been like bop. So I can only imagine Oda must be like right now in the room just cooking up some heat, yo. So like, yo, they ain't ready for this. They ain't ready for this. They damn sure ain't ready for this. It's like, yo, they ain't ready. And his editor's like, yo, relax, man. The pen's on fire. My boy Oda's like, man, the whole paper is going to melt at this point. The whole paper. You know what I'm saying? Recon, do you speak Spanish? Absolutely. What if Vortex? What if Joyboy turns out to be an antagonist for Luffy to overcome, not necessarily evil? So are you saying he's gonna be like a Kurama situation, Hollow Ichigo situation, like a Sukuna type of thing? Or are you literally talking about like Joyboy's Im-sama type of thing? I mean, it's Joyboy's Luffy. You know what I'm saying? Joyboy is Luffy. There's no doubt about that now. But I'm interested on... can you elaborate a little bit more on that, Vortex? Yo, Mist. What's good, yo? What is good? Film Red News next chapter? You lying. Shanks? You lying, DJ. Shanksu? Shanksu? Bro, we ain't ready for Shanks, man. Wait, if we're getting Film Red News, does that mean we're getting a trailer soon? Yo, I'm not ready for it. Do I even want to watch that trailer? It's like... Yo, these are things I gotta consider, man. Because imagine that trailer has something wild in it. I'm gonna have to watch it. I gotta watch the trailer. I gotta watch the trailer, yo. What if next chapter is Reverie? Kira Yoshi says, yo. Well, first and foremost, I'll always love that name, bro. Second of all, if next chapter we go around the world, I'm telling y'all, like I told you in the last afterthoughts, not this one, but the 1042 one, we're gonna see Dragon, or we're not gonna see Dragon, and that's gonna be the most hyped thing ever. Like the fact that we're gonna have an empty seat in the Kamabaka Kingdom where everybody's sweating. The world's going to be shaking. The drums of liberation is going to be moving. And Dragon's not going to be there. Because you know exactly where he's going. Guys, Luffy's still rubber? Absolutely. Now, I am very interested. Did y'all hear any more theories in regards to Luffy's fruit? The ones that I've seen this week are have been the most popular ones, like the Sun Wukong one, the Hanuman one, the Resin one. I saw one that was like the sun fruit. I saw quite a few this week, man. A lot of really good ones. I think the one that was most convincing to me in regards to the way that the individual structured it was the Jushi no Mi, the resin fruit. I thought it was just the way that it was that the theory was structured. I was like, wow, this is nuts. If this is actually the case, it's gonna be crazy. And I think the only time that we ever got to see something like this was back when G4 was released. I remember when G4 was released, there was like all kinds of theories, like Library of Ohara. Shout out to Library of Ohara said one time, it's like everybody becoming rubber experts. That's how it was when G4 released too. So I guess we'll have to see. Zoro as Ryuma is much more plausible. Yo, True and God Word, I'm down for anything at this point, yo. Yo. Do you imagine? Joy Boy, Big Goat Monkey D, and then you got Ryuma, Hororo no Azor. That's they're already the greatest tag team of all time. You ain't trying to see them after that. Man. Yo, my dog Silva. What's good, Silva, baby? What is good, yo? Joyboy plus Ashura is one tag team I want to see give the smoke. Yo, Hazi. If we ever get that tag team, I'm talking... Yo, that's going to be one of the greatest chapters ever, bro. Like, yeah, that's legit going to be one of the most goated... I mean, bro, just think about it. Two legendary figures within the verse throwing down with the world's strongest creature. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Yo, Nicola, what's good, bro? What's good? Oh no, I lost the comment. Here it is. Lazy Mofo says, so y'all think there is some tie to the song he already plays too and what we have going on now? Or is it just something that's more for the art and the environment of Wano? So you're talking about like after like the Bing Sake stuff, right? I mean, I still think it has a connection to what's currently going on in Wano, but I think it is more so for like an aesthetic type of thing, especially in the anime. But for sure, I think it's gonna be like Bing Sake. We're gonna have like the connection to what's currently happening, uh, in her song for sure. Just knowing the way that Oda's been handling music at this point after the Bing Sake ordeal. Shanks' arm is Im-sama. You already know, Adrian. Yo, Shanks' arm legit, like you were telling me earlier this week, it could be the goo. It could be the goo, yo. It's like, yo, when the goo hardens, all you see is Shanks' arm that was bitten by the Sea King, but it wasn't bitten by the Sea King. It wasn't bitten by the Sea King. It absorbed into Luffy's hat. And then inside of Luffy's hat, you have what all of us go on a break week. Which is, when we're on a break week, we go crazy. We're losing our minds. And we come up with theories like Shanks' arm melded with a straw hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when this series is on break, we start going crazy, man. Like, we start going crazy. We start going crazy. A cover page for Film Red? That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Because if we get a cover page this early for Film Red, I'm definitely down for that. I'm not ready for the Film Red trailer, let alone the film itself. Me neither, Hazzy. Me neither, yo. Lucky Roo and movie quality. Yo, Lucky Roo is going to be catching bodies in 240p, 360p, 480, 710, 720, 1080, 4K, 8K. My boy's always going to catch a body. The resin is the most popular one. The resin one looks the most accurate. Resin is the best one. Okay, interesting. So it looks like a lot of you are fans of the resin theory. I think it's very fascinating. Like we were talking about last time, I still believe that he has the Gomu Gomu no Mi to the very end. However, I do believe that there is a big possibility that his fruit changes once awakened to something else, to another property, like something like the resin fruit, or whatever, right? Like there's a lot of different possibilities in that regard, but it's very, very interesting, especially with the whole fruit. Now, let me ask y'all this: do y'all think it's 110% confirmed that the fruit they were talking about that its name changed to the annals of history is the Gomu Gomu no Mi? Like, do y'all think that's for certain a thing? Because if it's not for certain, then what other fruit could they be talking about? You know, I've seen the Time no Mi being brought into the as a possibility. I've seen the Kaido's fruit being brought in as a possibility, even Law's. But the thing is, with everything that's been building up with Luffy's fruit, it kind of does feel like it's his. And it just makes me wonder what his actual name is, if that's the case, you know. I saw somebody last week talking about the Nika no Mi, and I thought that was very interesting, considering that Nika in Japanese means smile, right? So it would literally be like the smile fruit, which is fascinating. But it's like, how does that connect to the whole rubber concept and whatnot, right? Studio Piece says, everybody ganks until Shanks reveals he has a robotic arm created by Vegapunk. If Shanks is a robotic arm, man, he's going to be Millennia from Elden Ring. That's an unstoppable force, alright? The world already doesn't want to see Shanks. They don't want to see Millennia Shanks. I can promise you that, Skip. I can promise you that, yo. They ain't trying to see Millennia Shanks. If Shanks knew about the significance of the fruit, which seems to be the case, then technically he delivered Bing Sake. Yeah, Joe, I really like that theory that you dropped on that. I think that's really cool. On the fact that he delivered Bing Sake at the very beginning of the series. which would be very interesting going back to the chapters 999 and 1000 thing of the sake I brewed with you, Straw Hat Luffy. Very interesting stuff. Film announcement is probably that the movie is delayed since Dragon movie got delayed. Yeah, that's the thing. Like with this toy animation hack, we don't know. You know, like we have no idea what's going to happen from here on out when it comes to these stories, and the releases of their anime adaptations to movies and all that stuff. Biscuit Sama says, I hope we focus on Luffy next chapter. I think all of us are hoping to focus on Luffy next chapter. Now, if we don't focus on Luffy next chapter, where do y'all think we'll go? Because, of course, Kaido's still down there with Kid, with Law. There's some Straw Hats down there. So there is a possibility that Kaido could be boxing, what's left of Kid and Law next chapter. Because I strongly believe, even if we don't get the Luffy stuff next chapter, like I said in the rejection of Joy Boy video, I do believe that the next time that when we see Luffy again, it's going to be through Kaido's perspective. Like, no matter what it is, no matter what takes place, we're going to go, and after Kaido finishes whatever he has going down up there, or whether he's still going on with whatever's going on, the hypothetical scenario, that the Straw Hats are holding off Kaido down there at the very least, like, giving it their all. They're like, yo, we're doing this, right? So I've seen that theory with like the Nine Shadows prophecy. I like it a lot. That the Straw Hats are going on there boxing Kaido, and that's whenever Kaido hears the drums of liberation. So when he hears the drums of liberation, he has to hear or see the silhouette. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to see the silhouette. There's no way that Oda does not take advantage of this, bro. Like, he has to see Silhouette A, which is the Luffy silhouette that we saw in the Skypiea party. Either of them, whether it's chapter 300 or 253. And then after that, we see the silhouette of Nika. And then we see through Kaido's eyes, through Kaido's perspective, what Luffy's awakening looks like. What Joy Boy looks like. Whatever in the Flying Flag Narcissus thing we're about to see looks like. And it would be dope if we see that through Kaido's perspective. Because that would be an indication of, sweet Flag Narcissus. Because especially if we get to see Kaido's reaction to it, he starts losing his mind, like, what in the he's like, what in the world is this? So I think that would be great, especially with the Drums of Liberation hype, because he'd be like, yo, what is that? Like, is that music? Like, can you imagine everybody on the island hears it? Doon, 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 doon. Hey, Luffy just like descends, or he descends like mad quick, and then the music gets louder and louder. That'd be on some horror movie stuff, man. That'd be like on some Resident Evil stuff. To Recon know me. I love that vortex. Yeah, I think it is the Gomu Gomu. Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all. Most certainly. Yo, Scar, my dog, what's good? Do you think there'll be an internal conversation between Luffy and Joy Boy? This might also impact Luffy's reaction towards One Piece at the end, since they had a brief conversation. So, in regards to a potential conversation between the two, if there really is like a Joy Boy figure inside of him, so it'll be like a Ichigo Haru Ichigo conversation, something like that. I think if Oda wants to take it down that route, that's most certainly a possibility. I just wonder if we do get something like that for Luffy, then are we gonna get something like that for Zoro as well? Like, is that whenever we see the conversation where Luffy has that conversation with Joy Boy inside of him, and then Zoro has the conversation with Death, like where we see the blanks being filled with the Grim Reaper and whatnot? I don't know. But I do think if this truly is Joy Boy inside of him, retaining the memories. But the thing is, that's why this whole situation is so weird to me, because if you have somebody like that within you who has the memories, who is exactly what you're looking for, and in Laugh Tale, it's like, he can't be here. Like, there's no way. Or at the very least, if he is here, there's no way he has the memories. Because that's an instant cheat code. You know what I mean? Like, this is the individual that left the One Piece behind in the first place. So, I don't know. But that conversation, if they do, hypothetically speaking, if they do have a conversation, that would be one of the most interesting conversation in the entire series because we've never seen Luffy have a thought bubble. So to see him not only have internal thoughts, but have a conversation with somebody else within his own self, would be a very interesting thing that Oda could tackle. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think it's interesting, Scar. I think it's definitely interesting. Yo, Syndicate, what is good, yo? Syndrotic. My bad. I said Syndicate. I was thinking of freaking Spider-Man. Syndrotic, man. What's good, yo? What is good? Yo, Nash Snyder, what's good, yo? What's good? Yo, Blaze, what's good, my brother? Hello, friends, don't mind me, still behind in One Piece. Someday I'll catch up. No worries, my man. You catch up when you want to catch up. All I'm saying is that it's about to get goated. It's about to get legendary. So if there's any time to catch up, it is soon, my friend. Very, very soon. Next chapter, The Adventures of Helmeppo returning to the East Blue. Hey, I mean, if we go around the world, I'm cool. I'm cool. Yo, seriously, like I'm being dead serious. If Oda were to ever want to decide to, because the thing is, right now, our excitement for what's currently happening on the roof, what's currently happening in Onigashima, is at an all-time high because of this situation. So if there's any time to switch to what's going around the world, especially if what's happening around the world has direct correlation to what happens at the end of this arc, then there has never been a better time to act break, quote unquote, and go around the world on a serious note. So if that's the case, then we could very well like go into next chapter and potentially see what's happening around the world, which would be very interesting. But I just, even with all that being said, I feel like Oda wants to keep this momentum going. With the momentum of this thing just happened, even if we don't see Luffy for a couple of chapters, we're going to see how this leads toward everything on the bottom. Because we already know we're going to have everything going crazy in the bottom. Kaido, like I said, Law and Kid shouldn't even be able to move right now. The fact they're moving and they still want to box Kaido is not only raw, but it's like, yo, these are my dudes. So I'm excited to see how they do all of that. I'm excited to see how the Straw Hats and everybody fend off Kaido until Luffy gets his butt down there. So regardless of whether we see him at the end of next chapter on some super goated stuff, or whether we see him in a couple of chapters, I think that is where I think that's where we're headed. But at the same time, it's like I said, if he wants to switch, this is the best time to switch. This is the best time to switch, you know? Yo, Young, what's good, my boy? Did you hear the new OSTs to semi-spoil the manga? I did not hear them, but I did see the fact that they exist. So like, I refrained from listening to any of them. I was like, yo, I'm not listening to anything that I haven't heard yet in the anime. I'm not listening to it. So, but I do know they exist, and it's great. Yo, shout out to Toei for releasing an OST list so close to Roof Piece coming out. Now, I will say this: I'm not gonna say the title of the last track, because that is potentially something massive, right? And it could connect to what just happened in the anime. But for me, when I first saw that, I wasn't thinking about 1043. I think that's the OST that's gonna play when he gets Conqueror's coding. And the reason why I say that is there is no way that, because music takes a long time to make, right? So unless they already knew this was coming, there's no way they had that soundtrack ready. Unless Oda told them, like, yo, this is coming, so go ahead and make a piece of music for it and whatnot. That's the only way. So for me, I think that piece of music was made for Luffy's quote-unquote thing, and then that's his Conqueror's coding. Oh wait, that's the way that I saw it. I haven't listened to the soundtrack, so I don't know if it has like a hype thing toward it, an emotional thing. I don't know, but I took it as the Conqueror's coding, because like I said, man, music takes a minute to make, and there's no way that Toei just made that after 1043 came out. There's just no way, bro. There's no way. So I guess it depends on how much Toei knows and whether Oda like snuck in a few things to them. It was like, hey man, this is gonna happen. So, yo, Schwarzer 101, what's good, Big Papi? Wouldn't surprise me if we don't see the Awakening, etc., or Luffy next chapter. Now, this is the thing. If we do not see it next chapter, or we don't see Luffy next chapter, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's gonna be A or B. We're either continue momentum down there on the live floor, seeing everybody pop off, some great scenes. It's gonna be like the Oars situation with everybody fighting against this one individual, big boss battle style, or we could go around the world. It's one of the two. Oh, this is interesting. Prime Alvida says in chapter 903, Shanks said, looks like we'll be meeting soon, referring to Joy Boy. I think Shanks was referring to Luffy, but if Shanks was referring to Joy Boy, then that brings up the entire thing going back to the very beginning of the series, where Shanks had the Gomu Gomu no Mi for a reason, right? So either way, that's going to be extremely fascinating, yo. That's going to be extremely, extremely fascinating. Where was Joy Boy Marineford or at Thriller Bark? We also need to understand the timing of his power, but if it isn't just over for the Awakening. Yo, Kira, 100%. That's why this Awakening / Gear 5 or whatever in the Flying Flagners this is. That's why this is so fascinating, because it has not popped up until this point. Now, granted, Luffy has not died up until this point, so if he really did die last chapter and is credited to him dying, then it's like sweet Flagnards. That's why this came out now, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you're absolutely right. So I'm wondering if this really is Awakening, or if this really is whatever it is, man. I think that's why so many of us are so excited to see it, because it's like, yo, where was this thing at before? You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the stream, to the man Recon. Yo, I appreciate you, Nash. I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up, yo. Thank all of y'all for showing up, man, on this wonderful Friday morning. I just want to know why Kaido didn't really react to what happened to Luffy. He kind of just stared up at the sky, then went about his business. So you're talking about like with like hearing the drums last chapter, or before? You're talking about like whenever he slammed the Flagnards out of him and then looked up and then went back down. I'm going to assume the reason why he didn't do anything is because he legit thought that they took him out. Because, you know, whenever he went down to talk with Nami, he was like, yo, he's dead. Like, Straw Hat Luffy's dead. But at the same time, I feel like he kind of heard the drums of liberation there at the second. Because you saw in the latest chapter where... Well, let me pull it up real quick. You saw in the latest chapter whenever he was like, yo, he kind of felt something. Like, he saw a disturbance in the Force. Next chapter coming in 10 days. Don't remind me, game. Don't remind me. That Yamato speech was so goated. So, Kaido right here, right? We have Kaido goes in, destroys, comes back down, and then right after this... See, it's like Kaido hears the drum, and all you see is him like... You know what I'm saying? It was like... you had this shock, like, oh snap, what is that? So... He could already be hearing the drums. You know what I'm saying? He really could. Yo. Let me see. Yo, Coogan, what's good, brother? What's good? Brez boy. What's good? Yo, Threevil. Yo, big shout out to the homie Threevil, man. Legendary theories, yo. My boy be dropping heat. Shout out to Threevil, yo. It's good to see you, fam. I believe Oda will do another Skypiea parallel with 5 people left standing, this time in place of Gonfall, Wiper, Zoro, and Robin. We get Momo, Kid, Zoro, and Yamato. Oh, so you think we'll get like the NL scene again? With like all 5 pointing their weapons. That'd be interesting. So are you a believer in the Momotaro thing happening then? That's gonna be crazy. So Momo, Kid, Zoro, and Yamato until Luffy gets there. I'm gonna be down with that. That sounds kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds bad fire. Personally, I think they knew it was coming. Honestly, at this point, you would be right. Because Toei has been, they've known. Like, you remember whenever they dropped the Luffy falling in the ocean part of the opening, we're like, what in the world are they doing here? Lo and behold, right? Lo and behold. So, I feel like they definitely know. And the director knows the end of Wano, right? Like, he's already said it before, that he knows the end of Wano, so you're probably right. Probably right. You're talking about the video from yesterday, Syndratic? My buddy who I sent the video of yours said that it's the most FOMO he's ever felt in his life and instantly picked it back up around Punk Hazard. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Best-selling manga in history. Getting people excited again, man. That's dope. That's dope. So hopefully your buddy will be able to catch back up before the end of the year. Or catch up just in general by the end of the year. Gonna be some crazy stuff, yo. Do you think Toei will make spin-offs of One Piece when it's over? I know I would. Any good businessman would. Any good businessman would. You feel me? Any good businessman would. It's like, yo, your most popular property, the fans are fiending. Look, this man Oda has all of us in the palm of his hands. All of us. In regards to this stuff. When Chapter 957 dropped, we were all hyped about the bounties, but we were also hyped about God Valley. Kaido flashback. When King had his little mini one-page flashback with Kaido, all of us were like, yo! Dog! So it's like, with that being said, if he wants to leave anything for the end of the series to where OVA, whatever, even if it's not canon, I don't care if it's not canon or not. I don't care. Bro, it's going to be the end of the series. You know what I mean? Like, after Luffy finds the One Piece, everything happens, the series closes, they can do whatever they want, man. It's not going to be Oda's. So, like, even the worst thing that can happen is trash. And then if it's trash, Oda didn't make it, it's just filler. If it's fire, they'll be like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm down for it. I feel the same way about that as I did whenever Dragon Ball started releasing movies. After it ended, I was like, yo, it might be Dookie, but it's not the original series, so I don't care. And it turned out for the best, because I actually really enjoyed Battle of Gods. But it's like I don't mind. If Toei wants to create a whole bunch of spin-offs and OVAs and all that stuff, I'm down. You know what I mean? I'm down. Okay, so this is very interesting, and I've been seeing this stated this entire week. So Miles states, if Luffy got Joy Boy, then does Blackbeard have rocks? Now, I remember the first time I ever heard this theory was I was talking to Jay a long time ago. And this is something he strongly believes in, is that Jay definitely has rocks inside of him, that's for sure. Shout out to my dog, JD Legend. But I remember he told me that he believes that rocks resides within Blackbeard. Now, if rocks resides within Blackbeard in the same way that we're hypothetical situation if Joy Boy resides within Luffy, and it's a split person and not just Luffy himself being Joy Boy, right? Which I believe Luffy himself is Joy Boy. If it is a split individual living within him, then I am very interested in the parallels. Like we were talking about the parallels in the last Afterthoughts with. Actually, was it an Afterthoughts or a podcast? Yo, I recorded a podcast the other day with I was in there with my dog from Off the Panel Podcasts and Safama. We were some legends, man. We were in there and we were going ahead. Now I don't remember if I talked about this in the Afterthoughts or in there. Regardless, there was the parallels between Luffy and Blackbeard were brought up with like the light and dark and it really opened my eyes to those possibilities. So if Rocks truly does reside within Blackbeard, I feel like we would have that answer almost immediately if Joy Boy truly does reside within Luffy. Because if Joy Boy does reside within Luffy, then it's like clear as day that Rocks resides within Blackbeard. But it's like, how did that happen? You know, how? It's like, how in the flying flat does that happen? And has it always been the case? I don't know, man. Because if there's somebody else residing within someone, doesn't that mess up the whole thing of observation hockey? Because observation hockey is reading somebody's personality. Like, after you've been fighting with them for so long, or through battle experience, you're able to see what's going to happen next. So, like, Katakuri fought so many people for so many years that his future sight was not only legendary because of that, but his battle experience allowed it to go even further beyond. So after fighting Luffy for a little minute, he's like, I know exactly what you're going to do next. And that's why Luffy and Kaido, both of them having future sight, makes so much sense, because they fought so many individuals. They can already read patterns in battle. You know what I'm saying? So when Kaido and Luffy use future sight, now, after this reveal, if there really is another individual within Luffy, then it's like, how in the world does observation hockey even work? Because you won't know what Joy Boy's going to do. And I feel the same way about Blackbeard, because there's the Blackbeard 3 personality theory. There's shout out to Threevil's theory with the Kraken. So it's like, there's these little different things, but hypothetically speaking, if Rocks really does reside within this dude, then it's like, that's two different people. That's two different minds. That's two different personalities. And it's like, that would mess with the oxygen hockey thing. That would make Blackbeard super OP. Like, beyond OP, because the thing is, if you have another individual that's like this within you, and they pop out, and that's why you never sleep, then it's like, man, how do you even read that? How do you read that in battle? You know what I mean? So, it would be crazy. It would be crazy. Oda got us in a chokehold. He really does, Threeble, bro. He really, really does, yo. And I don't mind. I don't mind, yo. It's the best chokehold to be in. Yo, Brandon King coming with the facts. I'm still waiting for the Bonnie, Kuma, Sorbet flashback. As a matter of fact, that has to have a connection to Endgame, right? Because I know the next major flashback the next two major flashbacks after Wano, so like after the Kaido thing, the Kozuki clan, all that stuff is out the way. The next major ones, because whenever we get to the Loki thing, I'm sure we're going to have like some sort of backstory with the Giants, Elbaf, all that stuff, right? But it's like after that, once you're starting getting into Endgame, maybe like Luffy's real past, Dragon's real past, as we really start going into the stuff. I already know Oda said in an interview a long time ago he wants to do Luffy's past, or a storyline with Garp, Dragon, the Revolutionary Army, and Luffy's past. So I'm going to assume that's going to be like one of the catalysts taking us into the final war. But around that time period, I'm going to assume is when we'll get the Bonnie Kuma flashback, because that's got to be goated. Like, whenever we end up getting that, just based on what we saw back then, there's a lot more than meets the eye to that. So it's very exciting stuff. Very, very exciting stuff. Is the Kingdom manga good to read? Yo, Kingdom is goated. Hell Army. Kingdom is goated. Get on that junk. Get on it! Luffy's going to be charging Joy Boy rent, as he should. Yo, if Joy Boy's really living within this dude, charge him. You know? Yo, get some money out of it. Yo, Joy Boy's living rent free in all of our heads. That doesn't mean he has to live there for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's the king. That's the king. That's the king, baby. Yo, M-Sphere, what's good, yo? I believe next chapter we go to Luffy, then Luffy confronts Kaido, and we lead into a Kaido flashback, opening with Rocks talking about Joy Boy to Kaido. So I'm right there with. I don't know about next chapter going to Luffy. That is yet to be seen. If we go straight to Luffy next chapter, that's gonna be some peak fiction. That's gonna be some peak fiction. But if we go whenever we get to Luffy and Luffy confronting Kaido and all that stuff, and then we get the Rocks flashback, I 100% am with you. I do believe that when Kaido sees Luffy as he is right now, and he recalls back to Joy Boy or Rocks potentially saying the same thing, just imagine. Rocks talking about the drums of liberation. Rocks talking about a heartbeat that gives off a specific sound. Or he just starts talking about Joy Boy as an individual. Maybe Joy Boy was the one that inspired him to become who he wants to be. And of course that would lead to Kaido wanting to become Joy Boy as well. But very interesting stuff. But I do believe Kaido's flashback is going to start in one of two ways. Either with Rocks talking to him about the Joy Boy, or we're starting Kaido's flashback from jump. Like, from the moment that he was born. If Oda wants to connect the history of Onigashima to Kaido's flashback, then we have to start from when Kaido was but a youngling. Because we have to see the origins of the Onis there, right? And of all that stuff. So, if we're going to see the truth behind the skull, which we have to see it, I mean, Oda always gives us the truth behind how the islands came to be, right? So it's like, is he going to give that to us in its own separate thing at the end of this arc? Or is he going to give us the truth behind the skull of Onigashima through Kaido's flashback? Which would mean we probably would have to get it very early on in his life cycle, or in his life. So it's got to start in one or two ways. Either with the truth of what the skull is, the Onis, all that stuff, and then we get into like the Rock stuff. Or we just start straight from the Rock stuff. But based on how Big Mom said, oh, you're 15, and, you know, he came in, I do think we're going to get a parallel to the Odin flashback where we are going to start Kaido's life from whenever he was younger. And I'm talking a direct parallel to Odin's flashback. Like, we're going to see the individuals hyping up Kaido as being a dog from the jump. Like, just being that dude from the jump, man. Like, oh, this guy was legendary. You know how they talked about Odin? He was like, yo, this man was a Yakuza boss at 5. At 7, he was out here bagging. Like, he was doing his thing. They're going to say something about Kaido. Like, yo, at 2 years old, he was flexing inside. At 4 years old, he woke up, he was already drinking. At 5 years old, he was leading whole armies. At 7 years old, he had the entire Onis all behind him. At 9 years old, like, just imagine. Just imagine. I mean, the hype on Kaido is already real. But it could be something like that. It could be something like that. It'd be crazy. Yo, Michael Mekos! What's good, bro? Give me 1 second. Michael, man, thank you so much for stopping by, bro. Shout out to my son's observation, waking me up 2 weeks in a row to catch the King Recon stream. How's the condo so far, yo? It's going great, man. It is going great, yo. But yo, shout out to your son's observation hockey for waking you up. Truly appreciate you, dog. Thanks so much for the 5. Yo, your son's gonna have legendary observation hockey, man. No question about that. Need Kaido's flashback within the next 5 chapters? Honestly, Silva, it's possible. It is very, very possible. It just depends on where Oda wants to go with this. Because if Oda wants to connect the Kaido wanting to be Joy Boy plotline to when he sees Joy Boy, when he hears the drums of liberation, all that stuff, it's going to have to happen soon. Because if he wants to connect those two things, then we would have to. He sees Luffy in the state that he's in, all the stuff kickstarts the memories, because his mind is already going nuts right now, right? He's in full-on attack mode. He's tired of this garbage. Right now he's thinking back to whenever Odin, he had the glory of battle stolen to him in the Odin fight. Now he's had it once again in the Luffy fight. And it's like, we have a scenario now where this dude is already like if I'm going to assume he's sobered up right now because he's really pissed off. But if he wasn't, then it'd be like, he would be in like the reminiscent phase of drunk phase, you know, whenever, like how when Big Mom was defeated and you saw him crying and all that stuff. He would be like in that type of phase. So if that were to lead us into the Kaido flashback, it is the perfect time. Like you said, within the next 5 chapters, I don't know if they box for a little bit and then he goes into the flashback, or the moment that he sees Luffy like this, we transition into the flashback. It's one of the two. I'm going to assume they box for a bit, because I think Kaido wants to test the waters. And I don't even... Can you imagine Luffy hits him into the flashback? Can you imagine that? He's like, yo! Luffy goes in. They're boxing. Bah! He just nails the flag. And while Luffy's hitting Kaido into like the flag nards, he's just like in the middle of the air. And Kaido's like... Oh. So this is what Rocks was talking about. Can you imagine that? That'd be wild. But on a serious note, it is definitely possible. It is definitely possible. It's no doubt possible. Yo, Josh, my dog. What is good, bro? What is good? Xanarkin says, Recon, what was the egg on Roger's ship? Bro, you know what the egg on Roger's ship was? An Elden Ring boss. That is what the egg was. We still don't know nothing about it. You know, one of these days, we're going to have to figure out what that egg is. And I feel like once we know what that egg is, that's going to be wild. That's going to be wild, because that's like been one of the biggest mysteries in this entire series up until this point. What is the egg? Why is it there? Why do they keep bringing it up? I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, it's probably an Elden Ring boss at this point. You feel me? This man Kickstar said I heard my name. You definitely heard your name, dog. You definitely heard your name. Silva asked, what's the length you expect from a flashback? To be honest with you, Silva, I'm leaning between 3 to 7. And let me see, Odin's flashback was from 950 at the end of 959 to 972, 973, if we count the Toki stuff. So up to 972 is whenever Odin passed, and then 973 was the aftermath. So it was a good length, right? I'm expecting Kaido's flashback to be about half of that, so let's just go 7 chapters. Because the thing is, I feel like within Kaido's flashback, we're going to learn so much about certain ways in which the One Piece world came to be the way it is now in regards to certain structures and systems and whatnot. I feel like we're going to learn how Kaido became an emperor on the sea, which is going to coincide with whenever we saw in Big Mom's flashback how she became an emperor of the sea. So with that being said, we're going to have to see like a super come up, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we spend like the first chapter of the flashback, like I said, depending on whether we start from the Rocks flashback or from whenever he was a kid, regardless, that's going to take us into the very beginning part of Kaido's flashback. And then we're going to get into some sort of story, which is what leads into the betrayal part. Like, y'all know we're going to go into the very, like, deepest parts of trust and betrayal for Kaido, what that means to him, how he got betrayed, who did the betraying, all that stuff. We're going to see all of that. And then I'm sure we have to. If Oda's not going to do it and as its own thing, this is when we see the God Valley stuff. So it's like we see the God Valley stuff through Kaido's eyes, through Kaido's perspective, how that messed him up or what that did to him as an individual. We're going to see Captain Rocks in all of his glory. So all of that stuff, it's got to be, for me, I mean, Oda stuffs a lot of things into his chapters. So it could be 5, 3 chapters, whatever. I'm going minimum 3. But I think it's going to be anywhere between 5 to 7 because I feel like there's a lot of content to cover here. And I want it to be as long as possible. I really, really do. I really, really do. What do you guys think about the length of Kaido's flashback? Because it's definitely a lot. There's definitely a good amount that like of different variations that we get. 5, 7, 10. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna go for that long because I feel like Oda's trying to wrap up the arc, but still. Yo, Maha D A-U-D. My man comes in with a 5. Well, on Friday, my alarm will definitely be set for 2 a.m. Australian time. Reminds me of 783, 784, but this will make it cute in comparison. Hype is real. That's exactly how I feel, yo. Not in Australian time. Or, in Austrian time. But I can tell you this. You're absolutely right in regards to making it cute in comparison. Because this is going to be goated. This is going to be legendary, man. Like, but the thing is, I just don't know if we're going to get a next chapter. We could, based on the flashback, based on the break, we could very well get the Luffy stuff next chapter. If we get the Luffy stuff next chapter, that's peak fiction. Excuse me, that is literally peak fiction. No, there's no doubt about that. Next chapter is peak fiction. But because all of us want to know, it's like we're all going to be super amped up next week. It's like, it don't matter what's in that chapter. We're all going in there for like somewhere for that, man. So, yeah, no, thank you so much for that, Maha, bro. Hope you're good, man. Thank you for that. Pluto says the egg is next Hunter x Hunter chapter. It might as well be, man. I mean, we're not, are we ever going to get another one? You know what I mean? So, hopefully. Oh, I believe in my dog Togashi. He has Togashi in there. He definitely has Togashi in there. Yo, Andres Gonzalez was good. Nothing like listening to Overtaken while playing Elden Ring to unlock cheat codes. Yo, I need to try that out. I actually have not listened to Overtaken while playing Elden Ring. That is definitely going to unlock some cheat codes. You got the drum celebration in the background. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Yo, War Machine 69, Sub King, love from Philippines fam. Yo, all love to the Philippines, yo. All love to the Philippines. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, between 2 to 5 chapters. Okay, Entropy Rising says another Rebecca type of flashback in length. I can see that as well. Silva 3 to 5. You know, and that's the safe bet, right? Is between 3 to 5, because Oda stuffs so much into his chapters that we could very well get out of that with a lot of stuff, right? And just, I mean, bro, out of one page in the King flashback that we got whenever Zoro beat this man, and it was like, yo, we were discussing that for a couple weeks, we're still discussing it. So that's one page. Imagine when we get a full-blown chapter dedicated to just Kaido's flashback. So he could do wonders in 3 chapters. Wonders in 3 chapters. Wonders. 2 weeks, yo, Chubby Alonzo, man, you are spitting. 2 weeks without chapter episode is pain. It is extreme pain, yo. It is extreme pain. We're getting 3 chapters in a row now. You know something? I was gonna record the favorite stretches in One Piece video. I made my list. I was like, I know exactly what I'm talking about. But then I was like, nah, I can't record this now. I gotta wait till this arc ends. Cause legit, what we just experienced was so godly that I feel like the stuff's about to come out is gonna be even better, man. Like yo, Michael coming with number 5. Shout out to his son's Observation Hockey. Do you think that Hakuba and Sogeking... This man says Sogeking. Now that's fascinating. Do you think that Hakuba and... Do you think that Hakuba and Sogekingu are similar to the Joy Boy situation? Now, I've seen the Hakuba thing. The thing... If there is another Joy Boy, or if there is another person within Luffy, if this is literally Joy Boy from the past, then it would have to be a Hakuba-like situation. A Hakuba-like situation that is his awakening. It would have to be something like that. But it's like, does he only come out when Luffy dies? Instead of rather than whenever he's asleep? You know what I mean? Like, it creates intrigue in that way. I feel like it would be more like for if the Rocks is truly within Blackbeard thing is true, then that would make more sense because he doesn't sleep. Therefore, if he when he goes to sleep, Rocks comes out and whatnot, right? It's like that would be more like a Hakuba situation. But in Cavendish's case, compared to Luffy's, I don't know because, okay, hypothetically speaking, if this really is Joy Boy, it would have to be something like that, right? It would have to be, because there's no way both of them are going to coincide at the same time. Luffy would not allow it. If Luffy is conscious, he is not going to allow anybody else to take over while he's in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not the way that he rolls. So hypothetically speaking, if this really is Joy Boy coming out, then it would have to be Luffy's unconscious. So it would have to be a Hakuba situation. Now, the Sogeking situation, on the other hand, that one fascinates me because it would be the opposite of a Sogeking situation, where it literally is, Luffy right now taking on the appearance of somebody else. I'm going to assume whenever we see his awakening, and then once that happens, instead of him trying to be Sogeking, it's that he literally is Joy Boy. He literally is this figure from all these years ago, but he doesn't want to be him. Or I'm not saying that he doesn't want to be him. He's like, who in the flying flutter? Like, this is me. This is my awakening. I ain't no dude from all those years ago. This is me. Whereas in Usopp's case, he had to become Sogeking in order to be free. In that scenario, in that situation. So, that's very interesting. That is extremely interesting, yo. Thank you for bringing that up, Michael. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Sogeking. Shout out to Sogeking, yo. Yo, Jamal Nabil, what's good? Hey, King, great to catch you live, buddy. What do you think will Luffy's Dofru type be like? Paramecia, Logia, or Zoan? I predict 1044 will be the answer to this question. So if we do see Luffy next chapter... Now, I've seen the mythical Zoan thing. I really like that. And I feel like with the whole talk on Zoans in this arc, it would be nice if Luffy's a mythical Zoan. But I feel like because of Paramecias being the most versatile in terms of what they could be, I feel like it's going to have to be a Paramecia. Because if it is a Paramecia, there's no limits. Anything that Oda could want to do with it, he could do with it. So I feel like it still would have to be a Paramecia. I don't think it's a Logia, because at this point, I doubt it. I doubt it being Logia. So for me, it would have to be either if it's based on the whole Sun Wukong thing, mythical Zoan. If it's like the resin thing, if it's still the Gomu Gomu no Mi, if it's still all that, then it has to be Paramecia. It would have to be Paramecia. So that's the way I'm looking at it, yo. But thank you so much, dog. Yo, more steak, less cake says, is overtaking the key to beating Malekith. Now, let me tell you something about that Malekith right there. The Black Blade, alright? The key to beating that man is to dodge his Getsuga Tenchos with a future sight. Alright? That is the truth. Alright? That is the truth. Future sight for real. Yo, Arian, 100%. The hype in Khan's stream when 1015 drops is gonna be legendary. As a matter of fact, has anybody talked to Khan? Does he know about the Toei Animation League? Or the Toei Animation hack, I mean? Yo, Maruko, what's good, yo? What's good, Maruko? Here in Japan, there is a lot of hype surrounding chapters 1055 to 1065. That's interesting. So, is it just like individuals predicting when the arc is going to end? Because, listen, for me, right? After we reach a certain point, we're going to be getting this, and then that's going to be followed by this. So if 1055 to 1065 is this, followed by this, that's the greatest stretch of chapters of all time. And it's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close. Based on what we have right now, if we are heading into that stretch we're talking about, the 1055, 1065, 1070, whatever, that stretch being the final part of Onigashima, heading into post-Wano, then I can see why those individuals are hyped. I can see why. I can definitely see why. So that's interesting that speculation is going on, because I remember I received a few comments which were factual. I saw a couple comments for years, or not years, but it was like months leading up to the chapter's release that 1043 would be special. Yo, the individuals who called that they were right. Because 1043 was one of the craziest chapters in the entire series. So it's like, man. And then I remember on the podcast, shout out to the Off the Panel podcast, he was telling me about the 1056 potentially being special. Because, the 56 being Gomu Gomu and whatnot, so definitely could be a thing. Definitely could be a thing. Gamer Nebula, he doesn't. Luffy for sure does not know, or he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't know and he doesn't care about the idea of Joy Boy. At all. At all. And that's why I'm super fascinated on seeing this entire situation in regards to how Luffy's going to handle this whole Joy Boy thing. Because I know he's going to reject it. He's like, who in the flying flatters is that? Joy Boy? He ain't me. But it is interesting how, because he states that, he's going to end up fulfilling his purpose and becoming Joy Boy, quote unquote, regardless. You know what I mean? And carrying that 800-year burden that he left behind. But yo, Derek Davis, man, hope you have a good day at work, yo. Yo, Recon, thoughts on Blue Flame Sanji? Yo, Blue Flame Sanji is, without question, going into other verses and one-shotting. Yo, Blue Flame Sanji, you know what I think, my boy? No, yo, Blue Flame Sanji? Yo, I saw some stats this week of, I think it was Geo that posted the heat that it requires to create blue flames. And I was like, yo, my dog Sanji's gonna go in. He's gonna start burning whole islands with that thing. Bah! It's like straight up, Ifrit comes out, wah! You're one kick to the grill and you're burned for an eternity, son. It's like, wow! Blue Flame Sanji? Are you kidding me? Yo, not only just Blue Flame Sanji, but in the same cover, we got Green Hockey Zoro. And I was wondering, now, this is nothing about the anime knowing things ahead of time. So you know how in the anime episode, whenever Zoro the Shishi Sonson, it did a green type of aura with Zoro going in with the tiger, with the lion, indicating the Shishi Sonson. But it was interesting that they used green hockey there specifically. So I wonder if now when we reach the roof, and he does not only the Flying Dragon Blaze, but also when he does the Ashura, the Dead Man's Game, if it's also going to have the green hockey. Because if that has green hockey there too, that's 100% confirmed that that's whenever his Conqueror's hockey starts leaking, which is interesting. Very interesting, the fact that they already did that in the anime. But, yeah, the green hockey for Zoro and the blue flames for Sanji. Straight hype there, yo. Straight hype. Threeville says, yeah, as far as the Hanuman thing, I think it's Luffy as a character at least doesn't even have to be his double fruit. It's crazy because the fathers of the Hanuman is too similar to Dragon and Garp. Yeah, I saw that part of the thing as well, which, if that's the case, that's going to be extremely fascinating. Like, I want to see how Oda is going to handle that in particular. But for sure, it's going to be Luffy as a character if that is to be the case. If that is to be the case. Like I said, it doesn't even have to be his fruit. So interesting stuff there. I really wish, man, that I could remember the theory. But I heard that theory, I think it was after chapter 1037 came out. And somebody in my comments wrote like an extremely well thought out. I mean, it was lengthy. It was beefy. But it was a very fascinating read. And it was really enjoyable. And I was like, yo, I wish that individual had a YouTube channel. And could have made that and with images. I think that would have been a theory that legit could have popped off because it was really good. I wish I still had it on me right now. And I apologize if you're here if you're in the stream. Let me know, yo. That was a very fascinating theory. The Hanuman thing. Hey Recon, what is the hardest boss fought in Elden Ring? It's not even close. It's not even close. It is. Well, spoilers for people who are playing Elden Ring. For 5 seconds, mute the video. It is Millennium, and it's not even close. Every other boss didn't take me like a fifth of the amount of tries as that one. As that's not even close. The thing I died to the most in that game is fall damage. At number 1. Number 2, it's her. And then 3 down to like 10, it's all like in the same type of range. Right, but I've never died to a boss more than I did her, yo. Never. Never. I got wrecked, son. And the craziest thing is that I got wrecked so many times on just the first phase. When I made it to the second phase, oh, nah. Oh, no. Yo, that second phase was Joy Boy Awakening level, son. I heard the drums of not liberation. I heard the drums of death. I heard the boom, boom, ah, boom, 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 ah. Boom, boom, ah, you know, like instead of the boom, boom, da, do, 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 da, whenever the drums liberation sound like, I heard the boom, boom, ah, boom, boom, ah. That's what I heard, yo. That thing was wild. That fight was toxic. Thing had me sweating, son. And the thing is, just for anyone wondering, I have a melee build, right? Like a straight up strength dex. Going up in like swimwear. I'm boxing. You know, I ain't trying to use no magic. I ain't trying to use nothing. I'm boxing. And so the simple fact that that being the case, woo! Woo! That fight was toxic, yo. That fight was crazy. That fight was crazy. I can definitely see Wano go for another 10 to 20 chapters. Absolutely, Andres. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, let me see, what is that? We're on 1043, going up until 1063. You know something? I think that's going to be the Onigashima section could wrap up by then. Because I think post Wano in and of itself, like I was telling the boys the other day, the fact that... Yes, exactly what Horace says right here. Horace brings up a perfect point right here. Horace says more like volumes 59, 45, and 90. Very good point. Because what it's going to be is a combination of volume 45, like the posting these lobby content, finding out getting so many reveals, game-changing reveals, with the lore and insanity of Reverie, alongside the crazy back-to-back of the end of Marineford. And that's what I'm expecting. You know, and exactly like Ariane says right here, every arc's ending in One Piece is legendary. Every arc's ending. And we're not ready. We're not ready for the final. At least I'm not ready. I know for a fact I'm not ready. That junk's gonna be goated. That junk's gonna be goated. So Vortex, in regards to the Oda said there's one villain after Kaido before Wano ends. I feel like that is a... Because I know exactly which thing you're talking about. That one, to me... I don't really know how to... I've never really known how to really take that. And the reason why I say that is whenever... Because, so, what he's talking about is there was an article... I don't think it came from Oda. It was his editor. They were doing an interview with, I think it was Toei at the time. And they were talking about how the true villain of Wano after Kaido, or like the true enemy, the true whatever after Kaido. And I think what that was referring to was the setup that we're going to be getting at the end of Wano for the final saga. That's the way that I took that. Because I feel like you cannot... With the way Kaido's been built up, especially with the way he's being built up now, you cannot Kaguya it. We cannot have a Kaguya situation right now. There's no way. There's no way that we have somebody else. I mean, the only other ones that I could see doing that, and it would be extremely hype, is like Blackbeard. We already saw Cypher Pole get murked. So there's that last one that's still here. But like only the WG, a member of the Godosei, CP0, Blackbeard, those are the only ones. But like in regards to that, I feel like Kaido has to be the final individual that we take out here. I mean, there's just no way. Unless, like I said, somebody else shows up and then somebody has to save us from the individual that shows up, like Shanks or whatever. But I can't see it. With the way this arc has been built up until this point, Kaido's defeat is going to mean so much. So much that... For me personally, I know that there's a lot of theories out there. Blackbeard's going to come in and take the kill. CP0's going to come in and take the kill. All that stuff. I get it. Right? I get it. It would be insane, all that stuff. But for me, considering how this arc has gone so far, I don't want anyone to rob, at the very least, the Straw Hats and the individuals here of the glory of that final hit. You know what I mean? Like, I want, regardless of whether it's Luffy going in... punching the Flagnars out of him, then Zoro cutting off his head, Sanji hitting him with blue fire, Robin going in once again with her form. Regardless of whether it's a tag team attack of all 9 of them, or it's just Luffy one-on-one. For me personally, you know, depending that it's executed, of course, Blackbeard comes in, whatever they go in, I'm cool with that, right? It's going to be awesome. But for me, the way this arc has gone so far, I really want my boys. I want my Straw Hats to get the final blow. I really, really do. I really, really do. And so with that being said, once Kaido goes down and then another obstacle presents itself, I think that's whenever we start leading into the setup for the next arc. That's the way I've always taken that line. That's the way at the very least that I've always taken that line. The Heshin Straw Hat. That is an awesome name, yo. Recon, bro, you my guy, dog. Keep being the GOAT. those ankle braces laced up because Odo's already in that 2K23 with ankle breakers. Yo, he has his ankle breakers on Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, yo. Hall of Fame. But thank you so much, dog. Appreciate you. Yo, PK Jew, what's good, man? Yo, PK Jew, could you? I remember you brought up the Brook thing the other day. That it's a theory that's really stuck with me. The theory about the what's that called? Brook potentially using an awakening or some sort of thing with his fruit in order to bring Zoro back to life, or so that Zoro. But before that, like, we're gonna explore death utilizing Zoro. If you can elaborate some more on that theory was really cool. If you would like to elaborate some more on that. Oh Lord. Yo, Hazard brings up a great point, and it kind of scares me. It kind of scares me, yo. It kind of scares me. I don't even know if I want to read this. Yo. Yo, as he says, getting saved by Shanks or getting saved from Shanks? As he says, getting saved by Shanks or getting saved from Shanks? That kind of terrifies me, yo. That kind of terrifies me. Because the thing is, right? I mean, yo, Shanks is a spooky individual. I've always been a believer that Shanks is not evil. That he's in that gray area. He's in control of the entire situation. You know, he's cool in it. He's the one pulling the string, whatever it is. You know, he's in the gray area pulling the strings. That's what makes him so fascinating. But on the hypothetical scenario that he really is, this is all set up for potential Shanks heel turn. Then the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall. The writing is on the wall. The writing is on the wall. Give me a sec, yo. Because I'm really thinking about what Vortex said. Because just imagine this, right? Because he just reminded me of that interview. And it's been a while since I thought about the interview. So, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, right? We use everything in our arsenal to take out Kaido, who's already the greatest individual that we've ever faced. And I remember in that interview, they stated that the other, if they were talking about somebody else, the other individual would be the one that could that would present the greatest obstacle. I think that was the exact verbiage there. Like the greatest obstacle ever for the Straw Hats. The thing is, right, it's like it's hard to read those lines. You know, like it makes you wonder, are we getting a Thriller Bark situation, or is that just set up for the rest of the series? And the way that I've always taken it is that's going to be set up for the rest of the series. But hypothetically speaking, if we do get a Kuma-like scenario in Wano, who in this entire verse could present more of a threat than Kaido? You know what I mean? Like, hypothetically speaking, who in the entire verse, not named Im-sama and Shanks heel turn, is going to present a bigger threat? Kaido's boxed everyone in the island. Kaido is boxed. He's still boxing. Yo, Kaido? Kaido's every Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls boss in one. Yo. You know what I mean? Like, yo. It's like, dog, I don't know, man. That's spooky. That's some spooky stuff right there. That's just wild. That's just wild. That's just wild. But definitely, we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, for me, I do think that it is going to be for future events. That it won't be like a Thriller Bark situation. But if it is a Thriller Bark situation, then I definitely look forward to seeing what in the flying Flagnarz he has in store. Because that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be wild. That's gonna be wild. We haven't seen Green Bull in action yet. If Green Bull is on some Kaido energy, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared, yo. Yo, Muddy120, what's good, Muddy? What is good? Unknown Artist, what's good? What is good, GOAT? I don't know about you guys, but Luffy's bounty after Wano will likely be higher than Rogers. Hey, Adam Cox brings up a good discussion point. What do you guys think Luffy's bounty is going to be? Like, I mean, listen, man. He's going to be credited for taking out the world's strongest creature. His bounty is going to be higher than Kaido's after this. I don't know if it's going to be higher than Rogers yet. But I do think there is a grand possibility it could hit 5 mil. Like, I think there's a genuine, like, an actual possibility that we're hitting 5 mil. Like, I think that's it, or 5 bill. I mean, like, I think that's an actual possibility that he's gonna be like right there, right behind Whitebeard and Roger. But if there is any type of scenario where he does surpass Roger's bounty, then it would have to coincide with the whole eliminate Straw Hat Luffy thing. Because I still think Dragon has the highest bounty. I think that's the reason why they haven't shown his bounty yet. But out of the pirate world, I do think that if they're really serious, if the Gorosei are dead serious, if Instant Messenger Sama stated the light that's going to be extinguished is Luffy. We already have the eliminate Straw Hat Luffy thing, and of course they're not going to be able to do this in this arc. So depending on all of that, if they truly go out and they stay at no matter at any cost, we're taking out Straw Hat Luffy, then that bounty increase is going to be out of this world. Out of this world. So 5 bill, 5.5 bill. Yo, when they said eliminate that dude, they meant it. So depending on that, we're going to see it. It's going to be wild. Yo, Hazzy and PKG coming in. Hazzy coming with $7.99. Truly appreciate you, dog. Joy Boy, go with the coat with Shadows from Moria and Hawkins using Exodia. Obliterate? My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards? Using Exodia to buff him is what'll be even more terrifying. Joy Boy Luffy with Shadows from Moria. Gecko Moria. And Hawkins using Exodia to buff him is what'll be even more terrifying. That actually does sound very terrifying. That sounds crazy. That sounds wild, yo. Can you imagine that? Joy Boy with Shadows from Moria. Like, Moria just feeding him Nightmare Luffy once again. And on top of that, you have Hawkins behind him, like, yo, pulling out his cards. Winged Dragon of Ra, Slifer, Dark Magician. He's like, nah. My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards. Exodia! That'd be wild, dude. Yo, Hazzy, thank you so much for that, dog. Yo, Nile, what's good? And PKG coming in with the 10. Kingu Recon. I heard the theory that From the Best Generation is too long to type, so whenever you get a chance to watch it on YT. Besides that awakening, Rastaman Luffy got dreads post Wano. Yo, Luffy with dreads? Rocking an extra drip? I mess with it. I mess with it. Luffy with dreads post Wano. I mess with it. So Rastaman Luffy. I mess with it. Still on to type. So the theory. So it was the theory you heard from somebody else. Yo, link me the theory, dog. I would definitely love to hear it. Link me the theory. But thank you so much for the 10, bro. I truly appreciate y'all. So here we go for the bounties. 6 bill, 4 bill, 3.25, 5.6, 5 bill, 5.6 bill, 5.6 bill for Gomu. I like that. 4 bill, 4.3, 5.6. His bounty depends on what information the government wants people to know. That's also factual, Michael. That is also very true, because if they give him an exponentially high bounty, people are going to be like, yo, something's weird here. Something's weird here. So they might intentionally keep his bounty on the lower side of things in order to keep things like hold up. This we can't have it we can't have it like that high. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely. I didn't even think about that, Michael. That's true. But at the same time, it's like you already know Big News Morgan is going to be hyping this up to the moon and back, and he's not scared. You know, they're going to send another person to assassinate him. He's going to box him. So it's tough. It's tough. So I'm gonna go with. I love the 5.6 being the Gomu Gomu no meme. That's really dope. But if they still want to keep it, I think it's gonna be anywhere between 4 to 5.6. I'm gonna say that. I don't think it's gonna go higher than that, unless they're going into full blown we don't care anymore mode. So this dude's getting eliminated. So, but it could be like Shimano's saying up here, the 3.25 with the San Nigo. It could be. So like from anywhere from 3.25. But the thing is, it depends on what it says in the newspaper. Because if it says in the newspaper that Luffy and Ko took out Big Mom and Kaido. So like remember how in Whole Cake Island, so like Luffy went in, did all that, defeated Big Mom, quote unquote. Went in, took out Cracker, Katakuri, all that stuff. So, depending on what it says in the newspaper, it could very well say, like, Luffy, Law, and Kid together take out Kid and Kaido and Big Mom. Or it specifically goes into specifics, like it says, you know, Luffy takes out Kaido, Kid and Law take out Big Mom. Then they would all get, like, their bounty increases, but it wouldn't be as large. You know, like Luffy going up to potentially 3.2... 3.5, 4 bill, and then Kid and Law are like right there with him as well, because then they're all going to be considered on a level after this. So, but the thing is, it really does depend. I love what Michael said about how much does the Gorosei want people to know about the situation. Morgan's going to be allowed to hype up his boy, and then also what exactly are we going to be doing in regards to the eliminate Straw Hat Luffy thing, because it looks like it's all hands on deck now. Like they're saying, you know, we have to take this dude out. Like we have to. So we gotta see. Yo, DJ bringing up the facts. Pay attention to Luffy. That was his thing at the beginning of this year. It really was. Pay attention to Luffy. We're definitely going to be getting a lot of Luffy greatness this year. You know, this year is going to be a lot for just the series itself. I know it's the 25th anniversary of the series, but depending on if we do get the stuff we've been theorizing about, guys, like the Shanks meeting, Luffy meeting Shanks, the potential is Bounty being super Emperor level, like a confirmed Emperor. Like regardless of whether we go at the low side of the spectrum at 3 bill, or we go at the very highest part of the spectrum in like the 5, 6 bill, whatever, right? Like, he's going to be an Emperor officially after this. So it's like, Emperor, go with the coat, Monkey D. Also potentially meeting Shanks this year. This whole Joy Boy thing, it's like, it's Luffy's year. It's the year of the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? It's the year of the GOAT. It's the year of the GOAT. Zoro, 1.7 billion. Yo! Zoro and Sanji after this arc. Oh man, dog. Yo, dude, listen. Sanji and Zoro after this arc, I can't wait to see their bounties, because these are going to be the wings of the king, man. You know, like, they're going to be the wings. I know for a fact Oda's going to go higher than, Zoro higher than Sanji, based on, like, the whole trolling thing other than this arc, like the 330 over 320. So I know Zoro's going to get, like, a massive boost. But I do wonder how far behind is Sanji going to be? Is Sanji going to be, like, right there? Or is he going to be, like, a little further behind? So let's just say, if you're right, Zoro goes up to a bill. Because Yonko commanders, up until this point, we saw Katakuri, Jack, you know what I'm saying? These individuals that are clearly, you know, on that level. I mean, Jack, you know, Jack is Mr. L's, but he's still a commander. He's still a commander. He's a calamity. He's Mr. L's, but he's still a calamity. So, we see these individuals with these extremely high bounties. It makes you wonder, like, yo, after what happens here in this arc, it's like, yo, our boys, they're gonna skyrocket. They're gonna skyrocket. Like, the entire squad, the entire crew is gonna have a massive increase. So that's really exciting stuff. Really, really exciting stuff. What do you guys think about Zoro and Sanji's bounties? And then Yamato, y'all already know how badly I want Yamato to join the crew. Hypothetical situation, Yamato does join the crew. The thing about, like, not only just being Kaido's daughter, but also having everything that Kaido has, that Yamato has. But I feel like Yamato still, it wouldn't go as high as Zoro and Sanji's, potentially, just based on the fact of what they actually did in this arc, taking out Queen and King. But at the same time, because she's been chained up for 28 years. Maybe they're just scared of the potential. Like, yo, that's Kaido's daughter? 3 bill. They're like, on potential. Yo, seriously, like on some Bronny James stuff, you know how LeBron the other day was like, yeah, I just want to play with my son. That man's draft stock skyrocketed. Like, yo, we want LeBron in our city. Like, yo, get that man first pick. Bronny James, first pick. I guarantee you that's the thing that happened with Kaido. The Gordos is going to be like, what? Kaido's offspring? 3 bill. 2 bill. 1.5 bill. Like, yo, immediately. Yo, Adrian, thanks for letting me know, bro. I'll make sure to steer clear. Thank you for letting me know, yo. I'm scared too. I'm scared too. I'm right there with you, Hazy. So Hazy states 5.6 bill will be when he finds the One Piece. Okay, so that we're gonna save the surpassing Roger part of his journey from a bounty standpoint until he finds the One Piece. It'll put him past Roger at the moment. Not gonna lie though, I still love for Dragon to have the highest, considering he's the most wanted. I do think up until the end of the series, I do think Luffy's gonna end up surpassing it. For right now, I think Dragon has the highest. I honestly do, y'all. It's just something within myself, within my body, that's like, yo, Dragon has the highest bounty. It doesn't mean he's the strongest character. It doesn't mean that he's even potentially top 3, top 5, right? Even though I clearly do think he's most certainly up there. All trolling aside with the Akainu video, I do think Dragon is definitely a top tier character in this verse. But it's more than just about strength and power in One Piece, as you know. It's about influence and what you have in terms of knowledge, how much of a danger you pose to the government. And there is no bigger danger in the verse than Dragon. Especially if that tattoo that he has on his face truly is a connection to the Void Century, maybe even a direct correlation to Nika and whatnot, as we were talking about in the Afterthoughts that week. So it's like, if that's the case, Dragon has to have the highest bounty. He has to. T-Sarok-T, hey man, I've only discovered your channel with a 1043 reaction. Yo, welcome aboard, dog. Yo, shout out to you. But I must say, your love for One Piece is unmatched. I love you and your channel. Keep it up. Nah, man, the love that everyone in this comment section has for One Piece is unmatched. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming aboard. That means the world to me. Yo, that's awesome. When I see stuff like that, it's really dope, because it just goes to show that even still to this day, people are finding the channel. And that's really cool, man. I appreciate you, T-Sarek. Hope you're having a good one. Oh, snap. Going in here with a super and membership. Okay. So first we got PK. Shout out to PK coming in with a 20. All right, PK. Truly appreciate you for that, dog. 2 cool ideas. The resin fruit. Luffy uses burning sap to beat Kaido Odin style. Paradise Gomu Gomu no Suka? Yo! Hold up, yo. Hypothetically speaking, if we have burning sap, alright, we got a red hawk on a tree, and he goes in, alright? And we got Gomu Gomu no! Paradise Gomu Gomu no! Waka! Like, you know what I'm saying? Yo, my bad. I go with the code. You know, hey, that a little too excited. Little too excited. But on a serious note, That would be interesting. That would be interesting. So goes in on Kaido Oden style. Luffy rubberizes Wano? Vibrations travel through rubber like the skin of a drum. Kaido enslaved Wano to bait Joy Boy's arrival. Now that final part I can definitely see. We've been talking about ever since Adrian brought up the possibility of Kaido potentially wanting to die in order to become Joy Boy because he thought that was one of the requirements necessary for it. That's insane. Right? Like that's still a theory that's still crazy to me. And it would make a lot of sense thematically. But in regards to Kaido enslaving everyone waiting for Joy Boy's arrival specifically because he knew that he would come to free all these individuals once more, I love that. Now, in terms of Luffy rubberizing all of Wano, utilizing this fruit, holy flagnards. That'd be the craziest awakening we've ever seen. An entire island? And then the other part, and Luffy using burning sap, so you're a believer in the resin fruit, right? Of course, like you said in the beginning. So, interesting stuff. If it really is the resin fruit, I'm down with that. A Red Hawk? Paradise Gomu Gomu no Suka? I love it. I'm definitely down for that. So thank you so much for that, PK. Truly appreciate you, man. And then Andres Gonzalez comes in with a membership for 2 more months. Shout out to Santa Hat Gang. Truly appreciate you. Will Luffy have a special paramecia like Cat did? So I've seen this being brought up a lot in the past couple days for Luffy's potential similarities to Katakuri in terms of his fruit now. I think it will be. I think he's going to stay within... unless he's a mythical Zoan, going that he potential Sun Wukong and all that stuff thing. If he's not that, I still believe, not only that he has the Gumo no Mi, but it will end up being potentially a special paramecia. So I do believe that to be the case. I do believe that to be the case. 100%. 100%. So thank you so much for that, Andres. Truly appreciate you, dog. I saw something earlier. My boy Joe put his bounties. So my boy Joe coming in says, in my opinion, Luffy at 3.5, Zoro 1.8, Sanji 1.5, Law 2.5, and Kid 2.2. Those definitely seem plausible. I can tell you that. Yeah, Luffy jumping on to 3.5, that's a whole 2 bill increase. Can definitely see that. Zoro 1.8, most certainly see that. Sanji 1.5, most certainly see that. And then Law and Kid, I'm interested because I know that Law to us is most certainly one of the MVPs in this arc, right? But to the world, would they see Law as being a higher threat than Kid? Like Big News Morgans and them would, in their eyes, wouldn't Kid be higher? I'm not sure. Like I said, to us, I know that for us, we know Law's the MVP. Like Law is without question. There's a couple MVP candidates. Law's one of them. You know what I mean? Like he's put in so much work. But to the world who did not witness this arc, I do wonder if they would put Law that much higher over a Kid. But I look forward to seeing your thoughts on that. Dragon is NWO Hulk Hogan. That's a fact, lazy mofos. That's a fact. Kirikon just Kaido Luffy again? Never, not my star player. Not my star player. Yo, PK coming in with another 20. Shout out to my dog PK. LMAO too excited. I meant burnt Kaido like Odin burnt in the oil. Oh my gosh. So he would burn Kaido and legit make him burn up. So it's not like he hits him with an attack and he reopens the wound. He legit makes him burn? Oh, man. That would be painful, dude. That would be painful. Can you imagine that? Especially post Kaido's flashback where we know this probably has like a lot of weight to it. The whole burning part. And the fact that he were to beat him in that way and he burns up. Wow. I like that possibility, PK. I'm not going to lie. I like that. I like it because it's like he's a fish, right? And at the end of the day, he is like, even though those scales are so amazing, the fact that he's been immortal for all this time, they use a guillotine, they use all these things to try to kill him, and he dies being burned like Odin. That would really bring the parallels full swing. Where, like I was saying earlier, I do think his flashback is going to parallel Odin's flashback. Where instead of, like, him setting off on his journey... Because maybe Kaido also wanted to be free, right? So Kaido wanted to be free. He sets off to the sea when Rocks comes in the same way that he set off with Whitebeard and then eventually Roger. But he sets off. He goes off and finds Rocks. He joins the Rocks crew, and we had that parallel in the flashback. Except his ending comes in Wano, where he's burned because of Luffy. That's interesting. That's the first time I've ever heard that. That's very, very interesting, yo. Thank you so much for that, yo. You're a real MVP. Like Hazy said, drops another 20 to correct his previous dono. Like, yo, what a legend. What a legend. I appreciate you, dog. So, Joe brings up possible the Gorosei still weren't talking about Luffy's fruit. I believe it is Thomas. The ability to control animals, its awakening would surely be able to control Zunisha. Now, if the Gorosei were talking about Thomas' fruit, then all of those umes that we got in the anime are going to come full circle, baby. They're coming full circle, I'll tell you. Yo, if Tama comes up in the, like, swimwear and genuinely, it has the fruit that the Gorosei are talking about, then, oh man, Tama's the greatest ally we could have ever asked for. Ever asked for. Can you imagine that? Tama controlling Zunisha? Ooh, man! Yo, shout out to Tama if that's the case. Shout out to Tama. Shout out to daughter Tama. Wait, yo, give me 1 second. The Will of P is striking. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Shout out to the Will of P. I'll be right back. Yeah! Alright, we're back from the Will of P. Let me see. Ugh. Deep fry Kaido. You feel me, freak of nature? That's exactly what I was thinking of whenever I heard that. Like, man, we're deep frying Kaido? Yo, Luis Bosques brings a pretty good point. That making the Raizo fight versus Fukuto Kuji more impactful. Like, yo, you went out in the same way, or you burning up all that stuff. Yo, if that's why everything's burning on the island, can you imagine that? Kaido medium rare. Hey, I respect it. I respect it. Kaido medium rare, dog. That's true, Momo. That's true. If they put his full-blown name on that thing, Trafalgar D. Water Law, his bounty would be extra higher. That's true. That's true. And like you said, we're going into the finale. That's very true. That's very, very true. Because I thought burning mainly because he dodged Red Hawk, the Red Rock hurt him, and then he burnt Odin alive, so Luffy burning would be ironic. It would. It most certainly would. So Zini News says cipher in cryptography. A cipher is an algorithm for performing encryption or decryption. To encipher or encode is to convert information into cipher or code. Absolutely. Petrol in British English is a liquid which is used as a fuel for motor vehicles. What else in his lobby? Gear 2nd, Gear 3rd, Dressrosa, Gear 4th, Boundman, Gear 4th Tank, Snake Man, Wano, Awakening, Gear 5. I mean, if all of that is truly the case, then the play on words in this series is really crazy. It's really crazy. If all of that is really the case. That's interesting, though. I never knew that was the definition for petrol in British English. That is actually very interesting. Or, I mean, I knew what petroleum is. I just didn't know that was like the connection. Petrol. I never knew that. If that is the connection, that's actually really interesting. Yo, Sepnosia, what's good? I also can't wait for 1044. 1044 is going to be legendary. Okay, PK, continuing to drop the dollars. With another 10 coming in, imagine the D family are ancestors of the ancient kingdom, led by Joy Boy. The D smile is death as an homage to Joy Boy. This means he's never forgotten, therefore he can return via inherited will in the right D. Now, in the right D, the correct D, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple ways that can go. But the D family being ancestors of the ancient kingdom led by Joy Boy, the D smile is going to be as in death as an homage to Joy Boy, and this means he's never forgotten. I love that a lot, because it goes back to the when the initial concept was brought up in Drum Island. You know, in Drum Island, there was a lot of stuff in this series that was introduced that could have mega importance later on. And so if the will of D really is about never being forgotten, and like how Dr. Hidaluk was talking about there, then I love this. I love this a lot. Excuse me. So the D family are ancestors of the ancient kingdom that were led by Joy Boy. The D smile is D as in death, as an homage to Joy Boy, so that he's never forgotten, therefore he can return via inherited will with the right D. So like not the Marshall D, but the Monkey D eventually in the future. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. You know, we've talked about the ancient kingdom many different times, but the idea that the D itself being death as an homage to Joy Boy, I've never heard that before. That's actually really cool. And the fact that he's never that means that he'll never be forgotten, I actually really like that. I actually really like that a lot. I actually really, really like that, yo. Shout out to you, PK, man. Thank you so much for that. Fish fillet Kaido, 100%. No more from me. Feel like I'm spamming. Yo, PK, well, first and foremost, thank you so much. Not only for providing some excellent commentary, but dog, you ain't have to put all those in super chats, man. That means the world. So thank you for that. Like, you could have just put that as regular comments, man. Like, I truly do appreciate you. But that was an awesome comment right there, because it really, when you got to think about the parallels right there, it actually really is dope. And like looking back at Drum Island, when the initial concept was introduced, Hidaluk talking about how when people died, his entire speech, if that is some sort of reference to the will of D, yo, love it, love it. Raizo will be the Hokage of Wano. He has the will of fire. Yo, W. Alonzo, you can't tell me Raizo does not have the will of fire. You cannot, dude. Robin's bounty will jump into 1 billion. She will be the highest in all the Straw Hats besides Zoro and Sanji. You know something? Based on what's happening right now, DJ, I can actually see that being the case. Based on if they truly are trying to both A, eliminate Luffy, and B, capture Robin, then yo, at this point in time, they're going to be trying everything in their willpower. You know what I mean? In order to take him out. And so if that's the case, I can actually see that. I can actually really, really see that. The fact that Robin's going to have the biggest increase besides the Monster Trio. Because they said it. They said that our main priority right now, they switched. They pulled on Akainu. They switched from having all eyes on A and then moved over to B. In the same way that whenever, Roger's son is here. When Akainu saw the Dragon's son was here, that changed the whole game. So it's like now, yes, we got to capture Nico Robin, but once they figured out that Luffy was here, or that whatever the information they received or put two and two together when it comes to the Luffy thing, it's like, we got to eliminate this dude immediately. Immediately. So it's like, man. Yeah. I can see that, DJ, honestly. I really, really could. Or D as in drum. I saw that a lot last week. In regards to the will of drum, the drums of liberation. It's really dope. So Freak of Nature says, I don't think Joy Boy is coming. People misunderstand inherited will. It's not a reincarnation thing. So I'm right there with you in regards to, because it's two things, right? There's a lot of hypothetical situations. There is the possibility, of course, that this really is a Joy Boy and what you're talking about, the whole reincarnation, or / he resides within him and all that stuff, resides within the fruit. There's that possibility. But I'm right there with you in regards to the Joy Boy not coming if what he's talking about is that Luffy's awakening is simply giving off the same sound as Joy Boy once did to Zunisha. So once his fruit awakens, the beat in his heart, the drums of liberation have that same type of wavelength, the same frequency that Joy Boy once had. So when all Zunisha hears is that, it's like, oh my goodness, that's the first time I've heard this in years. Joy Boy has returned, and then we know that Luffy is going to carry Joy Boy's legacy. He's going to carry his burden, the 800-year burden, to deliver whatever's going to happen at the end of the series, right? With all this stuff and later on. So with that being said, it could go one of those two ways. But for me, I do think it's definitely going to go that way, where it is more of like a Joy Boy is here, but it's because Luffy himself is Joy Boy. Now, if we're talking about the real actual Joy Boy being here, that would just be crazy, and then we have to wait and see how Oda executes on that. So it could go either way. Honestly, it could go either way. Yo, Andres Gonzalez coming in with a 50. Shout out to my dog right here. I still don't know how to feel about Luffy's potentially not being rubber, but I have faith that Oda's gonna go hard. Have a great stream. Gotta go. Yo, you are a GOAT, fam. Thank you so much for dropping that. Truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by on the stream, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, yo. And in regards to your, don't know how you feel about Luffy potentially not being rubber, I don't think you have to have any worries on that. I don't think you have to have any worries, because regardless of whether he has the Gomu Gomu no Mi or he doesn't, the way that, like I always say, have faith in Oda. Have faith in Oda. It's the same thing that I said, the whole community said, back whenever the time travel thing was introduced. When the time travel thing was introduced back at the beginning of this arc, we were all like, man, time travel in fiction is normally done very weirdly. It just depends on the right circumstances, the right execution. Time travel just doesn't work. And it worked. He did it. The time travel thing in this arc actually made sense. And it worked. And so I say it again. Whatever's happening right now, have faith in my dog. Because this is something that we can tell. If this is what he was talking about in regards to, I hope I can draw it right, I hope I can execute this right, when I was talking about that thing in Jump Festa, then we know for a fact that what he was talking about was this. After we figured this all out, and it's like, hold up. If this is what he was talking about, then he's potentially had this cooking for years. And Oda would never, he's the type to think about a lot of things before he does it. So, regardless, like I always say, have faith in my dog. Have faith in my dog. Have faith in my boy Luffy. And have faith in Oda. So Simon Cote says, I think Joy Boy could be a title instead of a person. So that is most certainly the way that Oda could be taking it. In regards to the title thing,
What I look forward to seeing is if this really is a title, if this really is a just simply like Joy Boy is a title that has been inherited, passed down throughout the years, then what I'm really, really curious about is what is the criteria, credentials, quote unquote, that's necessary here. Because hypothetically speaking, if we have a scenario where Joy Boy is a title in the way that we're speaking of here, then what constitutes somebody being Joy Boy? You know what I mean? Like, let's just say we've had like 8 different Joy Boys, because I remember back when chapter 906 dropped, and I think it was Joe. Shout out to Joe and the whoa! shout out to the individuals coming in and donating. I'll get to y'all in a second. But I think Joe brought this up that that we had the 7 different things, holes in the catacombs. We were entering the 8th, or like one of the first ones, but there was like 8 of them. So if all of those individuals that have the hats were all candidates for Joy Boy, then it's like, what constitutes somebody being Joy Boy? You know what I mean? Like I'm fascinated by that concept, especially with how important Joy Boy seems to be to the overall series. It's like, wow. So I look forward to seeing that. But holy sweet mother of flagmars, yo, Fox Tamer MGO coming up in there like swimwear with the SAR 200 Billios. Yo, all right, yo, Fox Tamer. Much love, dog. What if Luffy's resin isn't just any resin? It's Tree of Eve's resin. Oh my gosh. If that's the case, Fox Tamer, then yo, would that mean that this is going to be Oda letting us know this was one of the original fruits? Maybe even the original fruit. Because the thing is, we all know the Adam and Eve story. If this was the original fruit, or one of the original fruits that came from the tree, by the fly dress, the sap that came from the Eve's tree. Yo. Oh. Dog, I love that, man. I love that. So, the alleged tree of devil fruits and its awakening lets you use all fruits at what? Oh, okay, no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Chief. That's on some Ben 10 stuff. That is on some Ben Tennyson stuff. Lets you use all fruits at once. Maybe that will explain why the Gorosei are afraid so much. So, in regards to the thing that lets you use all fruits at once, I don't know. That might be a bit too extreme. It would be nuts. But that's taking a bit too far, I think. But the initial idea of being Tree of Eve's resin specifically, I think that's huge enough. We're going into the origin of the devil fruits here. It's like, yo, so listen, I love that. Now, the awakening letting you use all fruits at once, I don't know about that. Yo, that would be nuts. That would be crazy, dog. That would truly be crazy. So, but nah, dog, I love that idea. I love the fact that if this is the resin no Mi, it is a special. So we go back to the special paramecia concept. It is a specific special resin, which is cut from Eve's tree. That's actually very interesting. That is very, very fascinating. So, yo, Fox Team MGO, thank you so much for that, dog. Truly appreciate you. But maybe that explains why the Gorosei are so afraid of the fruit. Not necessarily because of the awakening doing all of that, but specifically because it could be the original or one of the original fruits. So that's huge. You know? So shout out to you, dog. And then we got the next one coming from Mohammed with the SAR 1999. Yo, what is SAR? Hold on. Before I read this, I'm actually curious. Let me just open my phone. SAR. I think I know I've received an SAR before, but hold on. SAR. SAR. Saudi Riyal. Ah, Ah, that's cool. Saudi Real. And that's actually a fire name for a currency. Saudi Real. Yeah, I appreciate y'all for the Saudi Real. I feel like I can just say that casually now. Saudi Real. That's a beast name for a currency, man, if I ever heard one. Now, I know it's random. I love them both so much, but I think Nami is way better. Whoa! Chat, what do y'all think about that? Yeah, Muhammad says, I know it's random. I love them both so much, but I really think Nami is a way better character than Robin after the time skip. Do you agree? Now, I prefer Nami as a character, personally. I love them both a lot. I have Nami like slightly higher than Robin. I think Nami is like in my top 5 favorite One Piece characters. I really love Nami. But in regards to being a way better character than Robin after the time skip, I don't know if I can agree with that. Robin has had some really awesome moments. Nami has had consistently more moments after. I mean, we can think back to Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Zoe, Whole Cake, Wano. Nami's been putting in work, right? But Robin, specifically just within this arc, reminded me of how much I love her character, right? That's tough. Like I said, for me, I prefer Nami. But being a way better character than Robin post time skip, I don't know if I can agree with that. But yo, Mohammed, thank you so much for the 1999 Saudi Real. I love that name. Saudi Real. I'm gonna start saying that from now on, yo. Saudi Real. I love that name. So, yeah, no, I appreciate y'all. But yeah, like I said, I prefer Nami. I love Nami, and I love Robin too, but I don't think Nami's been a far greater character than Robin post-time skip. I don't think that's factual. Nami has had a lot of amazing moments post-time skip, though. Like, a lot of amazing moments. And then we got 23 beats. The Michael Jordan beats coming in with a 20. Yo, Recon, what's going on? Happy Friday, man. What's your top 3 chapters so far in 2022? Oh my gosh, man, that's tough. Mine's are 1039, 1037, and 1043. So 1039, Kid-in-Law Greatness. 1037 being the Zunisha and the original Luffy and Kaido throwing down Roof Piece back. And then the latest chapter. For me, honestly, 23 beats. I think my favorite chapters of the year. First chapter of the year was 1037, right? Matter of fact, hold on. Let me look back real quick. Because I feel like the last 2 chapters are my 1 and 2. Right? Honestly. But at the same time, bro, 1037 was legendary. But then the line Now, I don't even have to search this up. I don't even gotta search this up, man. I think I know what my answer is. Alright, so far, I know the latest chapter is my favorite. So 1043 is number 1. 1042 is real. I loved 1042, man. Yo, 1042 was peak, man. So 1042, 1037 was legendary. I love the line. Now, which one? Because I think the last chapter in the Law Kid and Big Mom fight was awesome. Hold on. Give me a sec. Hold up. Because I feel like... Because the thing that made 1043 so special, the reason why that's clear-cut my number 1 is not only just because of the amazing Luffy ending, but it's also because of the amazing Yamato moment. I love Nami's moment there. Kaido was being a menace, yo. A menace. And then on top of that, we have the Luffy greatness. And the fact that we got an Oda box that confirmed Kaido winning the fight, and then Kaido whooping the CP0 member, and then he did that salute. 1043 was peak. Give me 1 second. Let me check this real quick. To see which one I like more. I think 1040. I really like 1040, man. Yo, yeah, 1040 was nasty. Dog, with Law, the Kora-san. Oh, nah, man. This was goated. Because the thing is, I really love 1039 too, man. So I think it would be that. I think it would be 1043 number 1. I think 1042 is number 2. And then my number 3 would be probably have to be 1037, man. It's just, I'm a Roof Piece star. I am, man. And anything that takes place in the Roof is peak fiction. So 1037, and then like right there with 1037, I have Law and Kid versus Big Mom, potentially 1040 or 1039. So let's say my top 5 of the year. Yo, this year has been legendary. I just listed off chapters from this year. All of those were awesome chapters. Like, number 5, 1039. Number 4, 1040. GOAT chapters. Awesome chapters. 1037 with the whole Zunisha stuff. Luffy and Kaido throwing hands. GOAT. 1042. Legendary. And then 1043, one of the craziest chapters I have ever read. What a year. What a year, yo. What a year. But thank you so much, 23 Beats, for that. I truly appreciate you. You just worked my brain into the oblivion, dude. Yo, Alcien coming in with a 5. Appreciate you, dog. It's Usopp beating on the drums just like he did in Skypiea Fire Party. Check the panel behind Luffy. He even has the same smile as Luffy's smile from 1043. So I saw it the other day because I went back and I was rereading Skypiea. From, where is my volume? So, I was reading Skypiea the other day, which is why I was talking about the silhouette thing in the Rejecting Joy Boy title chapter, or in the video. And so, there it is. So, what he's talking about is this Usopp thing right here. Let me put it from the camera. So, that Usopp right there and how he's smiling similar to Luffy. Beating the drum as well. So, it's interesting. Let me ask y'all this. If we are heading into some craziness, every single party that we've gotten into so far, parties normally don't involve one person. Drums of Liberation, if this really is going into the Jayabaya thing and whatnot, where it's a party with everybody together, we're referencing back to chapters 253, which is the chapter I just showed you, and chapter 300 in the party. If this is more than one person, is this just more insight that the entire Straw Hat crew is going to fight Kaido here at the end? Because we could very well have the party, quote-unquote, of the Drums of Liberation being Luffy going up in Lake Suma with the rest of the crew as they're all partying against Kaido. Because we're looking at that Usopp moment right there. Usopp has not had his moment of legend in this arc so far. I feel like most of the other Straw Hats have had really their big moments, and our dog Usopp has yet to have his major key moment. So if his major key moment is to come soon, I look forward to seeing what that is. You know, he has had some moments. Like, Usopp had a phenomenal moment a couple chapters ago. Whenever it was him and the Kiko Kinemon and Kanjuro Izo, whenever all that stuff was popping off, and Usopp had that amazing one that reminded me of why I love his character so much. So he did have that. But I feel like there's still more in store for Usopp, so could very well be the case. Could very well be the case. But I love that. Shout out, Usopp beating on the drums. Boom, 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 da. Yo, Michael Mickles coming in. He says, let's keep the super chat train going. Yo, I appreciate you, man. Comes in with a 10. Do you think that the fruits were created like the Philosopher's Stone? I've never thought about that. That's actually really interesting. Also, if there are devil fruits, there are also god fruits. So we were talking about that in the afterthoughts, which is really interesting. But the possibility of angel/god fruits, that'd be that's a very fascinating idea to just explore. But like the Philosopher's Stone in FMA, yo. Wow. So if it's like the Philosopher's Stone in FMA, we might have a Scar. Do you think that's what Dragon is? Is Dragon the Scar of this story? So if you've never watched Fullmetal Alchemist, Scar is somebody who he's a very... I'm not gonna spoil it. Just in case you haven't watched FMA, but Scar. So for people who have watched FMA, if Dragon is the Scar in this scenario, knowing the truth, that just further fuels the instant messenger Sama versus Dragon thing we were talking about. Yo, that is a very, very interesting idea, Michael Mickles. Thank you for bringing that up. I never thought about the parallel, the possibility and link between the Philosopher's Stone and fruits. That's actually really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Michael, man. I'm going to be thinking about that a lot, bro. The Philosopher's Stone, because you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Like, if they were created like the Philosopher's Stone, it's like, snap. Man. Yo, Phineas. Awesome to catch you live. Missed a lot of the streams. I appreciate you stopping by, yo. We're not going to make one live much sooner. I'm probably going to let this go on for about 15, 20 more minutes, because I do have to do some stuff for class later on today. Thankfully, I always have Fridays to myself, because this is the day I specifically kept for One Piece stuff. Normally, at least like the first couple hours in the day after myself, which is why I decided to stream. So then after this, I'm gonna do my class stuff and all that. But I still wanna keep talking. So we'll be here for a little while longer. So thank you for stopping by. Lazy Mofo says, that's dope. We've all been reading Skypiea lately. I mean, Skypiea is just the arc to reread, right? Like, at this point in the game, I feel like Skypiea is such a wonderful arc to go back and reread, because we realize just how important it is to the overall spectrum of the story, to the big picture of One Piece, the lore, the connections to everything in the past, if the endless verse. So, let me get this right. So, when we look at the endless verse right here, chapter in volume 32, because listen, man, chapter 300 is one of the most important chapters in this entire series. All right, in this entire series. So, the chapter is titled Symphony, right? Now, this chapter has a lot of amazing interactions between everybody. NL, obviously, greatness. He's, even after getting defeated, he's like, no, I'm going to read this verbatim as to what NL says in this chapter. He says, I'm going home to the place where a kami belongs. There must be nothing in the sky to block my vision. Those people were in my way. Yahaha! I won't hand it over to anyone, only I am worthy. A wide world, endless as a dream. Now then, Maxim. Let's go to the divine world that flows brilliantly in that night, to the endless Vars. So, yo, Phineas comes in, and he delivers his own endless Vars. This man reached into the endless Vars to bring this out. Holy flagnards, dog. Yo, comes in with a big 100s. Much love, brother. God bless you, yo. God bless you too, my man. God bless you too, bro. Amen to that. Holy flagnards. Yo, that means the world to me, man. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate you. Oh, this man reached into the endless Vars for that, bro. You're crazy, man. Much love to you. Says right here that I hear I'm gonna hop on Elden Ring myself all day. Have an amazing day, yo. Have an amazing day off playing some Elden Goat, one of the all-time greatest games. I really need to stream it, man, because I'm on New Game Plus right now, and I feel like that would be the best time to go back and start streaming. Because I do want to, especially after the meta change and after the update, after the patch, I want to test out all the different types of builds I can do and whatnot after that. So I'm gonna try to stream it one of these days. But yo, thank you so much for that, dog. You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. And PK, another legend, coming in with another 10, bro. PK, relax. Relax, yo. Yo, we know PK right now is like freaking Kyrie Irving the other night. When Kyrie would just put up like 6, bro. What did he have? Like 39 at the half? That's PK right now. Yo, got 39 at the half. Cause yo, straight up Kyrie Irving style. Michael, I got you, bro. You're talking about the Michael said, keep the super chats going. Y'all are legendary, man. Michael, I got you, bro. Changing the subject from Luffy, Joyboy, and Resin. I think Blackbeard went after Poseidon, aka Shirahoshi. I'm 150. I'm not 100, not 110, not 100, I'm 150% with you on that one. aka Shirahoshi. Who's with her right now? Garp. We can get Garp versus Rock. This man PK said we're gonna get Garp versus Rocks 2.0, and then Law can lead Sword. So Law leading Sword, I've always loved that theory. Shout out to Mugiwara, Matt B, Ben Say, and Randy Troy for continuing to push that theory out there and for coming up with that, because I've always loved that theory. Now, in regards to the Garp versus Rocks 2.0, if Rocks really does reside within Blackbeard, and we see that, or at the very least we see like the beginning stages of that before we do the classic Oda cutaway. Ready. I'm ready for that, yo. I'm ready for that. So that's definitely a possibility. I'm down for that. I would so love not only for Blackbeard to be going after Poseidon, because it just makes sense. Like while the entire rest of the world is focused on Sabo Vivi, everything happening in Wano, the SSG are going after Chichibukai. He's like, hold up. Blackbeard being the ultimate opportunist, he's like, if I'm gonna take all the ancient weapons, and hypothetically speaking, let's just say he already knows where Uranus is. He knows that Pluton is under somebody else's. So we've talked about Pluton potentially. Frankie already being the one that's gonna build that one day. Let's say it doesn't exist, but Frankie's gonna be the one to build it one day. I know we talked about that the other day. I believe it was in the podcast. And all those different things, right? So Blackbeard being the smart opportunist that he is, he's like, hold up. If all these ancient weapons are in places where a lot of things need to go right in order for these things to pop out, but there's one of them that's clearly out there, and if he got that information through the tunnels, through the catacombs, he's like, all right, it's time to move. And so him going after Poseidon just makes a lot of sense. Now, I do wonder if him going after Poseidon, if him going after Shirahoshi is going to give us that part of the prophecy where somebody with a straw hat destroys the Fishman Island. Because if that is the case, then we're going to see that relatively soon, right? Or not super soon, but we're going to see it relatively soon. It doesn't have to be Luffy that comes in and destroys the Fishman Island. There's somebody with a big straw, or just somebody with a straw hat. So, but then, if you bringing up this Shirahoshi thing, those were the 3 pictures that were laid down from Instant Messenger Summon chapter 908. Shirahoshi's, Blackbeard's, and Luffy's. Yo, you got my mind thinking now, PK, man. Yo, PK got my mind thinking now, dog. Woo! Got my mind thinking. Thank you so much for that, PK, bro. I'm gonna keep thinking about that. But yo, I love all of that. Oh, that Garp situation that could go crazy. That could go crazy. Joe says NL also says that when they reach Endless Varge, the Fairy of Earth, he will create a new God's Land. That's true. Potentially talking about the thing with King and with everything going on there with like the original God's Land that once presided above the Red Line. So that's actually very interesting. That's actually very, very interesting. Because if he were to do that, then we would have to see that very soon, which, oh man, the sooner NL comes to the picture, the better. Michael Mickle says, thanks to everyone here. Yo, seriously, can I take a picture of this and put it up on here? Yo, Michael Mickles right here, man. Says, thanks to everyone here, all the members, subscribers, and all super chatters for support. And seriously, like Michael Mickles spitting super gold right there, as gold as this Santa hat. Seriously, man, to everybody that stopped by today, that's just been showing support in general, like, yo, it's crazy the amount of support that the channel has gotten in just the last 2 weeks. I just got 13K the other day, and I'm already at 14, almost 0.3. Like, the support that has been shown throughout the past couple weeks has been out of this world, man. Like, I truly appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart, dog. It's been wild. It's been wild, man. Like, thank you for showing up to the streams. Some of the streams that we be doing be like 3 o'clock in the morning when these chapters drop, and I'll have like 300 people in here. I'm like, man, this is crazy, yo. I'll be telling people, go to sleep. And the fact that y'all are up with me, that means the world. That means the world, man. So yeah, Michael Mickles is spitting. Michael Mickles is spitting. Yo! Okay, now listen to me. The dude that just super chatted, this guy right here, I have been talking about One Piece with since I first entered the community on the old channel in 2013. This is my guy right here. This is a brother right here, man. I love this dude. Through the One Piece days, the Bleach days, the Toriko days, the Hunter x Hunter days, the JoJo days. That's a legend right there, man. Shout out to Northside Z, bro. Yo, my guy, man. You know how much love, bro. Shout out to my boy right there, dog. So he comes in with a 20. Says, never wavered. Can't wait to come back. I've had this hat theory about the D-Clan. Oh, drop that thing, Northside, man. Back in the day, you used to have the fire theories coming through. Hopefully, one of these days, we can get back together. Like you, me, Speak. Just get together, talk about One Piece again, man. It's been a minute. I've had this hat theory about the D-Clan for years now. When I called Law being 1 year back, it confirmed it for me. Mihawk and Lucci, maybe D's. So, you guys know how I say the Croco D Isle thing? That's all credited Northside. And I remember we used to say that all the time in the calls. It's like, yo, Croco D Isle, Robert D Lucci. Like, that was just our thing. But yeah, no, hey man, listen, if you're right on that, Robert D Lucci and Mihawk, drop those theories, my man. Hey, we're hungry. In the One Piece community right now, we are hungry for content. We're hungry for anything that can satisfy the itch, especially on a break week. So now's the best time ever, Northside, man. When you come back, it's going to be great. So yeah, if you're doing it on this channel, I don't know if you're creating a new channel or doing it on this one, but just in case, subscribe to my dog Northside, man, because he's going to be putting out some fire soon, if that's the case. Yo, Northside, I truly appreciate you, man. Thank you for the 20, bro. Never wavered, my man. Never wavered. Yo, I appreciate y'all for the love, man. I truly appreciate y'all for the love. Thank y'all so much for the kind words. Love from India. Yo, shout out to India, Shubham Sharma. Truly appreciate y'all over there in India, man. No doubt about that. Let's go. Yo, Kibashino 2, what's good? What's good, Hassan? Vash, what's good? So Joe says there's Germa Lab, but then there's also the replica of Punk Hazard that she made from blueprints. Get from Kaido. Also, what kid stole? Blackbeard wants the Vegapunk Lab and gets Germa Tech. Ooh. So Blackbeard wants... That's interesting. So Blackbeard, as a matter of fact, rather than just all the other stuff, he actually goes in and would rather get Vegapunk's lab and the technology that's within that. Yo, can you imagine Blackbeard, as already as nasty as he is, comes in and gets technology to back that up? Big Blackbeard? I love that. Oh, snap. Okay. Legend's still showing out. Baldy Cornell comes in with a 5. Truly appreciate you, dog. Blackbeard can take Garp hostage to lure Luffy to him, to kill Joy Boy and take the fruit to give to Jesus Bear. Yo, yeah, I remember when I first joined the community. Shout out to my dog King of Lightning, man. I forgot what he used to do. It was the funniest stuff ever, man. With the Burgess thing, like man, I forgot what it was. Yeah, I forgot what it was. It's been a minute, but that man used to do the funniest stuff for the Burgess thing, man. To make his right hand Joy Boy while Blackbeard is rocks. Those were fun times. Yo. Shout out to my boy Burgess. But to make his right hand Joy Boy while Blackbeard is rocks. That's interesting. So Blackbeard can take Garp hostage to lure Luffy to kill him, to kill Joy Boy and take the fruit to give to Burgess. To make his right hand Joy Boy while Blackbeard is rocks. So he wants to have full control of the world. He wants to be the individual that's in full in charge. Like he's gonna be the one that is rocks, wants to be king of the world, a Marshal Lee, while also having Joy Boy under him. Definitely something I can see him doing. Now, in regards to if he knows that Luffy is Joy Boy, and hypothetically speaking that Joy Boy resides within Luffy, why wouldn't he want to do something like that? But that just brings up the question, because we've been talking about that recently as well. Joy Boy or Blackbeard doing what he did with Whitebeard that one day with the curtain. When are we gonna see that again? And who is he gonna do that to? Because he has to do the curtain thing again for us to see exactly what he's doing there. And so when Oda does reveal that, I'm looking forward to seeing that, and that's just gonna be wild. Like finding out the truth of what he actually does under that curtain. Crazy stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for that, dog. And then Marsik comes in with something I have never seen before. So it's like a P, and the P has line. I've never seen this, but I appreciate you for that, dog. Excuse me, I've never seen that before, like in my entire life. The P with the matter of fact, let me search this up. Learn something new. I'm telling you, learn something new every day. There it is. P with 2 lines currency. Botswana? Philippine peso. No, the Philippine peso. That's dope. The Philippine peso. 250 Philippine pesos. That's actually dope. I did not know there was a specific Philippine peso. That's really cool. But yo, Marsik, thank you so much for the 250 Philippine pesos, yo. That's dope. That's super dope. Shout out to the Philippines, yo. Shout out to the Philippines. Yo, give me that is wild. Give me that said. He just donated berries to you on some real One Piece stuff. Real talk. Real talk. Yo, real talk. That's what I thought it was at first. I was like, yo, did he just donate berries? That's awesome. Shout out to the Philippine peso, yo. As he says, the will of P. Yo, facts. The will of P, yo. Oh yeah, that's what it was, freaking nature. Wee! That's facts. That's facts. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was, yo. That's what it was. Juan Carlos Scalia says, hey bro, love the videos and the streams, keep them coming. Most certainly will, yo. Thank you so much for the love. I'm gonna try my hardest to continue to bring out as much stuff as possible. So on that same line of thought, for next chapter, most certainly expect a stream. And thank you so much for voting. I had a lot of votes. I had like 1,000 something votes, man, on that. So I asked, just in case we didn't see it, I asked the community, because I basically for a long time only did pre-recorded reactions with some live reactions every now and then, but now that these live reactions have been so much fun to do, especially because the thing I love so much about live reacting, it gives me an opportunity to not only react to the chapter live and have a lot of fun doing it in that way. Dude, the way that we can talk after the chapter goes live, it like, especially with the way the series is going right now, I need it. You know what I mean? So at least for right now, I want to keep doing this live, the live streams, because the live stream reactions have been so much fun. You know, like just reading a chapter, then immediately being able to talk to y'all afterwards, like it's dope. I know it's a foreign, or it's an old concept, but being able to do it at this stage in the game when things are popping off, so much fun. Like I probably would have lost my sanity if it wasn't for y'all, thanks to 1043. You know what I mean? Like us talking about it. But so my plan now is we're gonna do the stream regular time as usual, regardless of whether it drops on Thursday night. We'll do it on Thursday night if it drops Thursday night. If it drops Friday morning, then we'll be here on Friday morning. But before that, because this next chapter, I don't want to risk spoilers, man, like at all. So even if nobody tells me anything, I'm still getting off social media on like Sunday night, Monday, and whatnot. So I'm gonna try to keep that as like as down as possible, so like any type of social media interactions. But I do want to try to release a couple videos next week if I can't. In regards to I don't want to risk spoiling or anything. Then just know if I do release videos next week, I won't be able to read the comments until after the chapter comes out. So I apologize for that. I'm taking all necessary precautions, especially with the next chapter. You know what I mean? Like potential insanity for next chapter. I'm just not going to read the comments after Monday. And so if I do release any videos, we'll do it on that. And so what I'm probably going to end up doing is, if I do release a video or a couple, I'm just going to stay clear of anything, any social media, all that stuff. and then we'll be back on Thursday/Friday for the streams, or for the reaction stream, for sure. Yo, Marsick coming in with another 250 berries, Philippine pesos. Have you read or watched the theory on Luffy's fruit being a mythical Zoan Sun Wukong supporting the Momotaro reference? Yes, I have, and I like it a lot. I think that right now that is up there with the resin theory, with the Hanuman theory, all of those of being very possibility, or very possible, I should say. Like, the possibility of those is extremely high. I still think it's the Gomu Gomu no Mi, but those possibilities are so extremely high as well. So I've most certainly heard that. But thank you so much for the 250, my man. Yo, so Nicholas Kaito, I checked out the official versions of all the OSTs I've already listened to, but the new OSTs I've steered clear because I do not want to get spoiled on what that moment's going to be like. Because I react to the... If I didn't react to the anime, I probably would have listened to it. But because I react to the anime, and the anime reaction experience has been some of my favorite stuff, alongside the chapter reactions, because of the way that Toei takes their creative liberties and whatnot, I want to savor, and I want to save that for whenever the episode comes out. Because let's just say one of those OSTs is used for the Chapter 1000 adaptation, or the Roof Piece adaptations, and we see those there for the first time. And it's like, I want that to be the first time that I ever hear those OSTs, is while those moments are happening. That's just a personal thing, though. Like, everybody else, y'all can listen to it, do whatever. But for me personally, as a reactor, I don't want to rob you guys of seeing my first reaction to those OSTs. And I think it would be best if the OSTs could be played alongside a legendary moment. Same way that when we got the Luffy vs. Sanji episode, and the Soul Pocus episodes, and Katakuri, and all those OSTs were showcased for the first time, it was like, yo! Like, the moments were already legendary. But then Soul Pocus had me crying like a baby. Katakuri's theme had me losing my mind. The soundtrack for Sanji vs. Luffy had us all in tears. Like, it's that type of stuff. And so that's why I haven't listened to the soundtrack yet, but I'm so excited for whenever the anime does end up coming back and we get those soundtracks, because it's going to be legendary. It's going to be legendary, yo. Yo, 23 beats! Yo! That man 23 beats comes in and says, I don't know the quinces as quinces. I know them as we them boys. Yo, we talking about the... Yo, for the Quincy's, back in the 1000-year Blood War, that's facts, yo. When they first dropped to the Gorosei, or not Gorosei, might as well be the Gorosei with the Blackbeard stuff and Juha. Whenever they first showed up, yo, they legit were them boys. We them boys. I forgot about that, bro. I real deal forgot about that. Yeah, no, but that was the time. Like, when I first entered the community in terms of, like, always watching stuff on a regular basis, it was when One Piece was in Punk Hazard, / like Fishman Island in the anime, Punk Hazard in the manga, and Bleach was in the 1000-year Blood War, like Fullbring going to the 1000-year Blood War, and Naruto was like right in the ninja like starting the Ninja War and whatnot. At least that's whenever I found our side of the YouTube community, because I had seen Sawyer's like Return to Sabaody stuff and all that stuff, but I discovered like King of Lightning, For Never, Jorshay, all those during Punk Hazard. So like it was just super dope because Bleach was going in so hard. Bro, there was a time period when all three were going in so hard, and yo, like, Bleach and One Piece on a weekly basis during the 1000-year Blood War and Punk Hazard was just nuts, man. Because Punk Hazard has one of my favorite like final parts, just because of the weekly experience at the time. Because we were so starving because Fisherman Island was amazing from a storytelling standpoint and had a couple really awesome hype moments. But what Punk Hazard provided was the mystery and the hype at the time. So when we reached the Zoro and Monet scene from there until the end, I'll never forget when chapter 689 dropped and Luffy punched the flag nurse out of Caesar, bro. That junk was so goat on a weekly basis. Then following that up with Law cutting the entire island in half. And then following that up with Grizzly Magnum. Then Doflamingo's on the way. Aokiji showing up on the motorcycle. That was a goat time. And then Dofi versus Aokiji. Then Doflamingo having Ace's fruit. That was a time, bro. That's why I started doing videos in that time, because I was like, yo, the moment I got my camera, which was my first phone, because up until that time I didn't have a smartphone. When I got my first smartphone, I said, we're making YouTube videos. And that's why I started right in the beginning of Dressrosa. Like, legit, right at the beginning of Dressrosa. Started doing videos on the old channel. I was like, yo, it's because at the time, you know how the possibilities right now are crazy? And they're getting even crazier? That's how we felt right then. Like, when Punk has to go to Dressrosa, it was like, what is going to happen to this arc? And it's like, yo, good times, man. Good times, dude. Seriously. Thank you for bringing that up, 23 Beats. You just brought up like a whole bunch of nostalgia. So many memories with that one, dog. Crazy stuff. Yo, Chubby Alonzo, I'm right there with you. Like, I have never been so desperate for a new One Piece chapter. Like we need it. We need it so bad, yo. That's interesting. So Joe says right here, if he gets the lab in Germa Tech, he could also create his own pacifista clone army and experiment in gigantification. So experimenting in gigantification is very interesting. We saw that back in Punk Hazard. We saw that is going to lead into potential massive scenarios down the line. If Blackbeard himself knows about the importance of the giants and knows of the Onis, knows of the Orzes of the world, knows about all of that stuff, and knows that the giants once ruled this earth, which could potentially be the thing with the straw hat that we have there, or is the continent polar, all that stuff, and he tries his own gigantification experiments, which we've speculated that could be what the SSG is, is these giant super soldiers. So, and leading to recreating Uranus potentially, like, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hazy said, you need to clean your camera. You're spitting everywhere. Spitting facts. Yo, Hazy, I truly appreciate you for the 799, yo. Says, let me clean this up. Even clear. But you know something? I'm going to have to wipe it a little bit more, because all we're going to do is spit facts here. We're just going to spit facts. As long as we're here, yo. Man, but yeah, I'll wrap this up in about 5 to 10 more minutes. Thank y'all so much for stopping by, yo. I know this is right in the middle of your Friday, so I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Murphy is new for this community, but she's already the best. Her opinion is really fascinating. I love listening to Murphy DJ. I actually saw that she uploaded earlier today from 1041 and 1043. Looking forward to listening to that in a little bit. Probably whenever I go to pick up some food, I'll listen to a bit of that video, because I love her opinions. Coming in as somebody who does not watch anime or read manga, she comes into this with more of with a different type of mindset, and I really appreciate that perspective. And I relate to that perspective as somebody who's really involved in reading books as well. You know, it's crazy, because I was subscribed to Murphy and Daniel for years, or at least when I first discovered them, which was like 2 years ago, I want to say. Because I was really trying to, since I got really serious about my writing, because I've been writing and wanting to get published, but I seriously, like, 110% got down to it. And I went back to BookTube, because I was really deep into BookTube back in like 2013, 2014, 2015, somewhere on there. And then I left it for a little bit, and then I really got heavy back into it whenever I started reading a lot more, writing a lot more again. And then I discovered their channels. And I never in a million years would have expected to see the One Piece. Like, I remember when she first released the One Piece pickup video that she picked up, like, the volumes, and I was like, what? Like, I think it was like volumes 1 through 12. And I was like, wait a minute, am I seeing this right? The GOAT? The best-selling manga in history? And it was crazy. Then I saw Daniel doing it. I saw a couple other people in the BookTube community doing it. I was like, man, that's wild. That's wild. That's wild. Edwin says, bro, when do you think Katakuri will appear? I want Katakuri so bad. Dude, when I rewatched the Luffy breaking the mirror scene earlier this week, I was like, I want Katakuri to come back so bad, man. Like, yo, Katakuri goated. And also, will the Yonko commanders meet each other in the final war? They could. That would be awesome if they could. If that's what we're leading towards, is seeing some Yonko commanders going up in like swimwear, that would be dope. That'd be dope. I love that color spread. The one that Oda just recently did with Zoro in the middle, and it showed all the other commanders. That was great. Alpha Invader, what's good, bro? He says, Sabo returning really opened the floodgates for One Piece YouTube reactors. Everyone went crazy with Sabo returning. I'll never forget that, man. I really wish my old channel was still. That was the first afterthoughts I ever did. Was when that chapter dropped. And the thing is, that was in the middle of 3 of the craziest chapters ever, happening back to back. Law getting smoked, Big Mom showing up, and then that chapter. And the fact that chapter blew everything else out the water was just crazy. Crazy, man. First afterthoughts I ever did. That's how much I love that chapter. First afterthoughts ever, yo. Crazy. That was a legendary time. Yo, Milo Cake. Glad you were. I saw your comments saying that it was gonna be really early for you. So I'm glad you're able to see this here at the very end. To see the stream here at the very end as we're wrapping up here. Thank you for stopping by, yo. I'm sure it's gonna be mad early still for you over there. Yo, me too. So what Joe says right here, I think Katakuri will appear in the cover story soon. I do as well. And when we see him, oh, that's gonna be so cool. Unless Oda is saving Katakuri for maybe what we're gonna see in one of the act breaks or post Wano. Like we could see Katakuri defending Whole Cake Island against an incoming invasion from someone. You know what I'm saying? So that is also possibilities. But so I'll say this: if we see him in the cover story, when we see him in post Wano, we probably won't see him like in that way. But if we do not see Katakuri in post Wano, or I'm sorry, in the cover story, then expect something crazy in post Wano, like where he is potentially fending off an invasion or something like that. You know what I mean? Yo, 23 Beats coming out with another 5. Yo, 23 Beats has been like Kevin Durant, like Bron, like Kyrie, putting up 50, 60 points. Since the stream's about their end, I have one more question. Where the hell is the Big Mom Pirates? Seriously. The Big Mom Pirates are without a doubt still here. It's just they're not here. You know what I mean? It's like they're here, but they're not here. So before the arc really got to where we are now, I thought the Big Mom Pirates were just holding off until their part of the arc to start. But now that things are going in this way, and I think they felt that way too, which is why Perospero kept everybody on their toes. Like, we're not, we're gonna keep everyone in check. Like, make sure that Big Mom ends up being the one who comes out of this victorious and whatnot. But now that Big Mom has been taken out, I wonder if now they're going to prioritize retreat, or if they're going to prioritize, you know, taking care of business here, weakening things, or maybe potentially staying until both sides are weak enough. I'm not entirely sure at this point. Like, they've always been the biggest X factor, but especially now, with the way things are going, I have no idea. But seriously, like you said, where are they? Where are they? It's been a minute. Katakuri appearing in the cover story, the Marines coming in on Whole Cake Island act break. Oof. The battle for Whole Cake, Blackbeard pulls up. If Blackbeard pulls up to Whole Cake Island and boxes Katakuri, we're going to be losing our minds. For me, you know, Katakuri versus Blackbeard? And then, like you said, Katakuri defeated, potentially. And then Kizo... You talking about Blackbeard catching bodies? Blackbeard catching bodies? Yo, man. Crazy. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. Just imagine Katakuri looking at Luffy's new bounty in the paper, like Vivi did way back. That would be an awesome moment of like, yo, you are fulfilling that promise. Like, I thought I was looking that far in the future. Looks like the future's already here. You know, get some really nice moments like that. I would love that, man. I really love that. I bet they have a favorite card for Big Mom. They're retrieving her as we speak. You're right, Rio and Riley. That might be actually be the case. That they're going to retrieve her. They have a favorite card. They're gonna go get her and retreat. Give me that says drop those likes for the stream. Definitely, y'all. As we're wrapping up here, drop those likes. Truly appreciate that. Cat finna put on the Conqueror's coding Mochi Paws on Blackbeard. Yo, let's see it. Let's see it. I hope if we do see it, let's get at least a couple pages. Cat throwing down. Conqueror's coded Mochi? What? That'd be goat, dude. That would be nice. Going in, Blackbeard, Mr. Zehaha, using his fruit to its maximum. Now he has 2 of them, though. So it's like, yo, he's gonna laugh and the island's gonna be shaking because of the tremor fruit. Whew. Crazy. Even light cannot escape a black hole. That's facts, Joe. That's facts. Even Kizaru's light would not be able to escape the Blackbeard's fruit. So ending this off on one more thing, I just want to give my final predictions for next chapter. Well, before I say that, the Blackbeard Liberation, there's a move that he has, it's called Liberation. I think that's very interesting considering the drums Liberation and whatnot. But we'll talk about more of that later on in the line. Next chapter, we're going to do one of 2 things. This is the way that I see it. Either we're going to see Kaido going in against all the Straw Hats, or all the Straw Hats that are awake right now, and all the people down on the live floor, and Kid and Law. And then at the end of the chapter, we might see Luffy, or we could prolong this a little longer. We still got to work with the flag nerds as Denjiro. We'll see some of that stuff. But if Oda wants to give us the 783, 784 treatment, the 894, 895 treatment, we might have to see Luffy next chapter. If we do not see Luffy next chapter, then we're going to see Kaido going into like swimwear for the next couple chapters, and we're going to have some amazing moments from Kid, Law, and the Straw Hats down there as they're fending off Kaido until Luffy gets there. When we see Luffy, whether it be next chapter or a couple chapters later, we're going to hear the Drums of Liberation, and the Drums of Liberation are going to be followed by silhouettes. The silhouette from 253 and 300, then Nika's silhouette, and then through Kaido's perspective, we're going to see Luffy in this new form for the first time. Luffy and Kaido boxing, whether it's just Luffy and Kaido, or Luffy and the entire squad versus Kaido. I'm hyped. Where does the battle take place? The roof? Flower Capital? Live floor? I don't know. But all I know is that when Luffy declares his name, when he states for the last and final time that he is Monkey D. Luffy and he is going to be king of the pirates, in front of Yamato, Momo, and Kaido, and they're finally freed from their shackles of chasing those long-forgotten ghosts, then we're going to get to a scenario to where their hearts are going to be freed, and then when Luffy defeats Kaido, we have his body, whether it's like what PK said earlier, his body burns for everyone to see, whether he gets punched with the flagners, like we were talking about earlier, maybe all the Straws get their own licks, whatever happens there. And Kaido gets sent down to the Flower Capital for everyone to see. This individual's been defeated. As Fiji brought up yesterday on Twitter, that the dawn rises when Kaido's defeated. And in a glorious way, that looks to be the trajectory that we're going. How many chapters it's going to take? Who knows? In the middle of that, we have to get Kaido's flashback, the potential around the world, who knows? But all I can tell you is that we are in for some peak fiction coming in soon. Santa Hat level stuff is incoming. And then let me read this final comment right here. Robinator 305, thoughts on the red line being hardened resin from a previous user of, oh my god, on some Punk Hazard stuff? Except on a way larger scale. From a previous user of Luffy's fruit that was forced to divide the world and only an awakened user can dissolve. Did I just get that comment for free? Is this free content? Robinator didn't make this into a video. Robinator didn't drop this into a book. Robinator didn't give this to Oda. He dropped this on the channel. Yo, Robinator's a real one. Can I save that? That's a crazy theory, bro. That's a crazy theory. Wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful theory, dude. I might make a post about it. Yo, make a post about it, bro. I love that. So, if Luffy's fruit really is the resin fruit, that's an incredible theory. That is an incredible theory. Make a post on that. We'll see that later. Hopefully, it resonates with a lot of people because that is an awesome theory, man. Awesome theory. Give Me That says, love those streams. Only got in about 30 minutes ago, but definitely going back to catch what I missed after you wrap up. 100%, yo. Yo, y'all have a blessed one. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up right here. We've been going for about 3 hours. Thank you so much for giving me 3 hours of your day. You're talking about the best-selling manga in history. So many individuals that came in here and showed love, regardless of whether y'all just watched, left a like, super chatted, membership. Just like Michael Mickle said earlier, regardless of whatever y'all did, I truly appreciate y'all's support. I just destroyed my finger. But yo, I truly appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. It's going to be a pretty crazy weekend. I'm hoping to get some sort of content for you guys out here this weekend. And then next week, we'll be back with maybe a video and then the stream for the reaction, or maybe just the reaction. Like I said, because of the scale and how big this chapter could be, I don't know if I'm going to risk putting out the video. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If I do put out a video, I won't look at the comments. But if I don't, then I will see y'all for the stream on either Friday or Thursday, depending on when the chapter drops. So I'll see y'all next time. Awesome sauce is incoming. We are in for some peak, ultra peak fiction, ladies and gentlemen. Joy Boy, Goatness, man, dude, Awakening, whatever it is, we're going in. I'll see y'all next time. Have an awesome day. Yo, y'all blew my mind today, man. A lot of amazing theories. A lot of amazing